That's right. It's time for the Dog and Chicken Show. That's right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is
an echo.
Another live edition of the Dog and Chicken Show. So coming to you from Casa El Pollo. Since Phil has Castle KOE, I got Castle El Pollo, and joined by my lovely wife, Mrs. Chicken. Welcome, Mrs. Chicken, as that's what you've known her as before. Say hi. Hi. And back for the first time in a while, it seems. I don't know, first time live. Welcome.
Yeah, It feels like a fucking eternity, but actually it's only been like less than a week. But if you go in podcasting content hours, it's been like 10 years, because I think you and Phil logged like 19 hours this week. Just ballpark.
Yeah, just ballparking it. Yeah, that's kind of how we roll. That's what it seems like anyway.
Okay, I had a lot of window time this week, so I was actually enjoying this a lot. So I was glad that you guys filled the gap for my window time during the week. But yeah, I did jump on, what was it, a couple nights ago when he had the toilet paper roll stacks on either side of him, and I was there for about half of it. Finally, I'm like, I had to tap out.
That was a good gimmick. It really was.
I liked it.
So for those that don't know, go back and check out our prior episode Wednesday night. Phil and I went live, and he put pyramid of what he knows as apocalypse currency, known as toilet paper. Had to show off his digs there. That was fun. He had a lot.
It turns out it's real.
Night.
Oh, he always has his finger right on the pulse of any given crisis in America. It's uncanny. But I found out firsthand, like he sent us pictures earlier about his trip to a grocery store with his mom, and holy crap, they're pretty much depleted. Somebody called me earlier and when they were in Walmart in York and said there's no milk. I'm like, okay, now this is starting to affect me. Oh shit. Because we go through a lot of milk in this house, and
yeah, 3 kiddos, all pretty young. I bet. Like that's a little scary.
So yeah, I'm like, as soon as you get into Geneva, just pick me up. We're gonna run over to Dollar General. We're gonna get milk. We get there, I immediately look, no toilet paper. They had 3 small boxes of Kleenexes and a bunch of paper towels. So I'm like, well, grab a few of those, I guess. They did have a little bit of milk, and there was almost no white bread left, only shit brand wheat. So it's getting to that point.
Hey, you get to diversify on different breads now. So we do online
too.
we do online shopping and online delivery. We're privileged cunts up here. But I remember 2 weeks ago, Amber's like, "Hey, should we like stock up on this toilet paper thing?" And I was kind of like, no, but we probably should have, right?
Yeah. It turns out.
Oh, we secretly did.
We did.
Oh, if she did, then she is smarter than both of us.
She's like, my husband's a dumbass.
Well, I am too, apparently. I was at work earlier, and I walked in the bathroom to take a leak before I jumped in the feed truck, and there was a extra roll sitting there, and I'm like, oh, hello there. I grabbed it.
That's how it goes.
I put it in the cab with me just because I usually have like Kleenexes or something. So I threw it in the feed truck with me. And I'm like, I'm just going to have this in the feed truck hidden. So just in case I need a bartering chip when like Mad Max starts and I'm in the feed truck, I'll have a bartering chip for my life. I'll have 1 roll of toilet paper to survive off of. It'll be nice.
So we got our first
dark here.
We got our first chat popping in here. Old Jeremy Kunert there in Fairmont. He's said he was just in New York Walmart. All the hamburger and chicken is completely gone. That's across the country, fella. Like that's everywhere.
Is that just the raw chicken, or is that also? I assume the frozen's probably picked over first.
Oh shit, I don't know. You think you'd be smart enough to do the frozen first, because that'll last you longer, of course. But
Yeah.
I got pictures of several stores, just nothing, complete empty meat walls all over the place right now. So up here in South Dakota, yeah, meat wall. Up here in South Dakota, they canceled all school next week across the entire state. State of emergency in South Dakota. This stupid alert keeps popping up on my laptop, and it's going to drive me freaking insane.
And I work at the only daycare that is still open in South Dakota.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, apparently. I'm sure there's one or two more we just don't know about. It's a big state.
Well, there's only like 6.
No, she'll just take the credit for it. She'll just take the credit for it.
It does sound better that way.
Up. Oh my God. This thing keeps annoying the hell out of me.
So
anyway,
I've been getting updates. Yeah, it's kind of
hopefully you can't hear it.
Nebraska.
Like I don't know if you can hear the alerts that come across my computer. It shouldn't.
No, you're silent. Okay. You're silent.
Okay, I just have to deal with the stupid Windows.
Apparently, Elkhorn is closed and Gretna is open. That was the last update I got concerning Nebraska. So,
shit, the world's coming to an end. Jeremy just said all ramen noodles are gone too.
What?
Sorry, babe. What'd you have to say?
Well, I was just saying, like, when I was looking at the school closings, my best friend Abby from Nebraska said that if there was a 1% case, then the Nebraska schools would close for 6 to 8 weeks. Like,
there was 1% infection rate or something like that.
1%. Pete Ricketts said 1% infection rate would close down all schools for 6 to 8 weeks. But here in South Dakota, we have like 10 cases, no 9 cases, and then we're already closed right now.
But we have no people, so that's already 1%.
Yeah. So, the math is weird, and I don't know how to do math, but
fair enough. Any panic going on down south there in Nebraska right now? It's already going on up here.
That's the thing. Like, I didn't think it'd gotten to my area yet, but then, tonight we finally went out and actually looked at the retail, and it's finally getting here. Like, but even though you could see the empty shelves, everybody in there's like, this is so stupid. I don't know why everybody's freaking out as they're like.
But what are they there to buy?
Yeah, exactly. They're there buying the panic shit. Like, apparently cereal in York Walmart. The whole thing was just completely depleted. Is that the same there?
No, it's not. No, it's not, because when I went to Fairway the other day, I seen this man. He pulled up in his truck just like I did at Fairway.
Yeah.
And he was sketchy. He kept looking over his shoulder, his shoulder. Same time I pulled up in my truck. And we both had, same thing going on, brand new trucks, whatever. And he's looking at me, sketchy. And when he went in, he got a shit ton of fucking Bud Light and toilet paper. And I came in behind him in line. I had some hamburger buns because I have to buy them there. And that's where I get my hamburger buns. And I was there behind him with hamburger buns, and he was looking at me sketchy. And then he just kept looking at me sketchy, like if I was going to try to steal his shit.
Jack his shit.
Jack his toilet paper and his fucking Bud Light. Like, he was looking at me weird the whole entire time. Like, is this shit really getting that bad? But
to be fair, you do look like someone who would completely annihilate
steal beer
just for theirs. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I've always gotten that vibe from you. I've like, anytime you're around, I'm like, oh, go hold that beer tight. She might beat the shit out of me for it.
Right. It's true. Do have that vibe. I do need it. I need it badly.
It is really strange. So like today I went to one of my stores that's like really, really slow. It's a boring store. Nothing's ever going on. Hardly anybody's ever shopping there. It was as busy as one of my busiest stores, and it was all old people. So everybody's on Mark cards and bitching and looking for sugar-free stuff. It was weird. The whole thing was just fucking weird. But I had a conversation with one guy. I was telling Amber earlier, like, so this guy comes up and he's like, hey, what can I buy that's going to last? And I was like, well, like, anything on like from your hot dogs all the way around through the bakery and most of your deli, most of that stuff's fresh, but you can still freeze it. It comes in fresh. Like, it's not like you're freezing it 3 times. Not like any of that's going on. He's like, oh, okay. I was like, what's the big concern? He's like, I just need to know what I could stockpile on because your frozen aisle's shot. And I'm like, what? I walk over and like all the frozen veggies and everything, the meals, everything was just gone. I'm like, oh, old people know what's up. Just buy all the frozen stuff and stockpile that. So, they know what to do. They're not messing around. Beyond that, it looks like we got a kid invasion in both of our studios currently. So Tony's taking care of one child and Amber's taking care of my child. So we'll get back into
door.
Close the door. Come on. Welcome back,
Thank
Tony.
you.
I tried to cover.
Oh yeah, no, I was listening in and out, but yeah, of course we have the. You can almost schedule our shows by it. I have to have one kid find that knob and open it, wander in on camera. It's a guarantee. Like that's how we should just segue. When I have a kid invade my studio, that's when we segue into the next topic, right? But that's the only topic there is coronavirus. Like there's nothing else worth talking about because everything else has been fucking canceled.
Yeah, apparently. There's no sports. Like none.
No.
UFC might still happen. UFC is rescheduled their fights. There, of course, won't be any audience, but I guess for UFC, you really don't need an audience. Like, I never really cared. And if I did you or watch it live, like I usually don't have the volume up loud anyway. I could deal without it. I think it could work.
I think it could work for UFC. They made it work tonight on WWE SmackDown. I didn't watch the whole thing yet. I always record it and try to catch up on it like the next day because it's just easier. But they canceled their venue tonight a day or so ago, and they hosted tonight's SmackDown out of their performance center. They've got like I don't know, eight wrestling rings in this big building, and they kind of recreated a small arena with chairs and everything, and the big entrance ramp and the lighting and the announce table. There's nobody in the chairs, but it's like a mini stadium, and they just kind of went with it. And wrestling, yeah, like Phil talked about it.
It's odd.
It's weird because wrestling is something that absolutely needs a crowd reaction because that's part of the show. So it's a little weird to watch that. But as of right now, yeah, wrestling and apparently UFC are really the only two things going. Like NHL's done, NBA's done, XFL's been put on hold. All collegiate, baseball, basketball, NBA, MLB.
It's a whole new kind of March Madness going on right now.
Oh yeah, this is definitely. Is that what? Oh my God, you just figured it out, dude. That's how we figure out our bracket.
I have a great one-liner once in a while, but I usually have to steal it. But.
Well, okay, so March Madness has no basketball teams this year. So how do we fill our brackets? Like that's what we're gonna need to do.
So Jeremy just made a good point. You can still watch bowling on ESPN, so we could do a bowling bracket.
Okay. I think they haven't canceled the World Series of Poker, which somebody said, I can't believe they haven't, because that's like a cesspool of germs.
Yeah. It's like, here, touch all these cards. Here you go.
Well,
here's a whole deck of cards with Corona.
And sit there for 8 freaking hours.
Yeah.
So I've got, okay, if we have a little quick cameo because.
Cameo time. Yep. Who we got here?
Okay, so this guy wanted to see himself on camera. I was just informed because we are live on YouTube. He wants to see himself on YouTube. So I'm pulling up the YouTube feed so he can see himself live on YouTube. All right. Should be coming up here, bud.
Now you gotta say hi to everybody, dude.
Yep. You gonna say hi?
What's your name?
Say hi. What's your name? Yeah, striker. There you are. See yourself wave? Yep. There you go, guy.
Striker, how old are you?
How old are you? Hold up a hand. There you go. You all done? All right, give me a hug. All right, good night. Don't let the bed bugs bite or the corona.
Yes.
Good times, good times. And then I have my little, it's like on cue. Like they just show up at the same time. What's up, Riker?
What's up?
What are you doing?
Nothing. Mom just made me come down here.
Did she?
Yeah.
I did.
For what?
Asking my age because she's a predator.
Because she's a predator.
Just kidding, guys. Mom is not a predator.
I'm glad you clarified.
It's fake news. Just like Donald Trump says. It's fake news, guys. Don't believe it. It's just a joke. I was kidding.
Good to know, bud.
Continue.
Okay. Can
Are
we?
you sure?
Oh, man.
Can we?
What else did I say?
Just continue. I'm just going to go enjoy myself
Okay.
for the
Good.
rest of the time.
All right. All right. I don't even know where we were. I'm lost now.
Yeah.
Okay.
March
So,
Madness.
March Madness, yes. Yeah, well, I'll take it beyond March Madness. We can always come back to that. I wanted to give some, for the few that we have watching early, you get a little sneak preview on, well, not a preview. I don't know, just some tips from a guy that knows retail. If you go into a store and you cannot find ground beef, in most Walmarts, we have frozen 1 pound rolls of ground beef in those little frozen bunkers where you find the frozen chicken. On the other side, they usually have, with the steaks, a 1 pound chub of frozen ground beef. Yeah, that's what we call them. We call them chubs. But there you go. Those never really sell out, and nobody knows that they're really there. So that'd be one. If you're really looking for ground beef and your shelves are empty right now, there you go. There's a quick tip. I'm not going to give secrets of timing down too much, but I tell you what, Pepsi vendors usually deliver most of the Dasani water. And then you have your Coke vendors will deliver. I can't remember what their name brand is, but they usually come in mid to late morning with full pallets of water. So usually, between like 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. So if you're looking for water and you want bottled water, that's a good time to pop in. And yeah, sure, it's an extra $1 or $2 per case, but those guys are usually pretty easy to time. You can drive around the building and see a Pepsi truck and back and be like, oh shit, we got a water delivery most times. So and then most of the stuff, like I said earlier, from hot dogs all the way around to your deli, you buy it fresh, you can still freeze it, and that shit'll be good for a while. If the frozen stuff's not good, what we're finding is the perishable stuff, like your regular ground beef, it's either freeze it or cook it right now. And you made chili tonight, and you're like,
Come up a shot.
yeah, you're nervous about it. And like, I wasted hamburger. Can we get hamburger again? I'm like, no, there's a lot of cows out there. We'll find it.
Well, that's the beauty of it. Like, we all have guns around here, and we get to that Mad Max scenario. It's not like hunting cows is going to be real hard. They're not like cheetahs or anything.
Yeah.
Do we eat
Slow.
cheetahs? I don't know. How do you cook a cheetah?
I want Cheetos.
I assume it'd be like cooking a cat, so we just take it up to the old Chinese buffet and learn a couple new trade secrets. I think that'd work.
Oh my god. That's
Can't edit that out.
No, but I can say
What was I?
that said that's racist.
Oh.
How dare me?
Oh yeah, well, I have that one available too. I'm just gonna here you go.
How dare you?
There we go. I feel better now.
I feel cheesy.
Yeah, yo.
It is cheesy. I love being a little cheesy sometimes. Speaking of cheesy, we were just on Cheetos and Cheetahs. I'm getting hungry. We go to Walmart and see what they got. No.
Well, you could. Not a lot. Hope you don't want cereal.
Oh, cereal or milk, eggs, ground beef.
I hate cereal. I'm the one person, I don't know. I really love cereal, but me and Riker hate cereal. Oh, gross.
Well, he's allergic to cereal.
No, he can have a lot of cereal.
Well, now he
can. Just doesn't want to.
He grew up allergic to corn, so he couldn't have cereal. And now he's like, I don't fucking care.
I never fucking liked it.
Yeah.
Every time when I was a little girl, I would see the box in the morning that my mom would put out, and it had the box of cereal.
You didn't get excited for the toy?
It had the pretty strawberries inside. Like, on the picture of the cereal box, it had like cornflakes with strawberries in it. And I always wanted the strawberries and thinking that someday the strawberries would be there, and they never were. I didn't know.
Yeah.
That you had to add them.
Nature Harvest. They have like the dried fruit in it. So
see, that would have been nice to know as a kid. At least I could have had some dried strawberries.
Well, Riker liked the oatmeal, the little packets of oatmeal,
He's like, I love it, and the next day he's like, gross.
yeah, he's fucking picky.
Oh shit! If ramen noodles are gone from the stores, I bet oatmeal's.
Everybody will be healthy if ramen noodles are gone.
That shit is terrible for you.
No more diabetes, no more calorie carbon. Everybody's gonna get skinnier, healthy, smarter, faster, prettier, healthier skin knows it. See,
that might be it. Like that's the new diet plan. I'm gonna jump on that early and start teaching like Corona yoga. I think that'll be
Corona yoga.
I think I'm onto something.
Ramen.
Yeah, so that's Trump's plan is for America to come out of this beautiful.
That's the secret.
And the politics on this has been fucking horrible.
We'll wait for Phil before we jump into that.
Oh God,
Phil should be joining us tonight.
Hey Tony, can I ask you a question that I've always wanted to ask you when I see this podcast? What kind of books do you have behind you? What are they about? I've always wondered because the reason I ask is because Riker seen the podcast, and then Riker decided he wanted 900 books with a bookshelf for Christmas. And it was because of you and the podcast with the bookshelf and books. So just wondering, what kind of books you got back there?
I'm just glad we upgraded to liquor behind us.
Yeah,
now we'll have little kids go, what kind of liquor is that?
Well, as you probably noticed before, I had a second shelf like this that had all these DVDs on it, and I decided who needs a giant bookshelf with DVDs. So now I just have the one little one, and I moved a bunch of my booze down here because it just makes more sense. So the books there's my squirrel title, 2-time champ.
Squirrel.
Yeah, he's a squirrel champion.
How does that happen?
He shot a bunch of fucking rodents.
No way. Are you serious?
Yeah, he got a big belt for it.
Oh, I'll get into that in a minute.
Okay, let's do. Be fun. On here. I don't know what a squirrel title is.
Okay. There's some books.
You have to talk louder. It's not switching screens.
No, sorry. There. I moved away from the mic, but got some books on the bottom here. So I mean, there's pretty wide variety of books, but yeah.
Do you have the Bible?
For the most part, it's yes, there is a Bible right there.
Good.
And actually, it's close to a copy of the Book of Islam. I think I got from Phil. And Greek mythology, so we're covering all our bases. And some
Riker might want to borrow those.
Shakespeare. All right.
Riker is probably gonna want to borrow those if he ever can.
Oh, and this is a good one. The Thesaurus of Slang. It's one I stole from the high school on my last day as a senior.
I bet that is amazing.
Oh, dude.
I'm
you know
fascinated
what? We could do
now.
an entire episode on the Thesaurus of Slang. It's a good one. It is a really good one. But no, since you asked, I'm pretty proud of the squirrel title, Amber. It's a big deal. You see, it's been going for 4 years now. This is the 4th year, and there were 63 two-man teams, and this is the year my dad and I decided, you know what, we're taking this fucking thing. So we set out on a chilly January morning, and we embarked on our hunt, and things were looking glum until about noon. We finally started seeing them, and about 3 o'clock, we bagged 2 gigantic squirrels, and the way you win
fucking gigantic squirrel.
Like you only got 2 squirrels? Like
no,
that's it?
5.
Or
Actually,
5?
no, we had
5.
7.
Oh, shit.
We had 7. We had 7 total, but you turn in 5. And the goal is to have the biggest and the most weight.
So
well,
you
we had
killed
the biggest
2 squirrels for no fucking reason?
Yes.
Like
they were stealing peanuts and fucking acorns and bastards.
What if they
It's
were the
true.
little squirrels that came up to the nursing home and like kept companionship with the old people?
They scared me when they came up to me and tried to talk to me and touch my leg. They were scary.
I can imagine they come up.
No, they would like come up right up to your leg and like touch your leg, and it freaked me out. It was like, you're a wild animal. You're not supposed to touch my leg and go.
Okay, well, when that happens, now we know who to call. The Squirrel
the Squirrel Master.
Squirrel Master.
You need to go to Heritage Crossing Nursing Home on the outside, on the backside.
They do discourage hunting in town, so you just can't get caught. You can't get caught, but. No, yeah, that's the goal. You get your 5 squirrels to turn in. You hope you have the most weight, and we had the most weight.
So it doesn't matter. Can I ask a question? Does it matter how many squirrels you have? It doesn't matter how many squirrels you have. It's about weight. It doesn't matter how many squirrels you have. It's about weight.
You turn in your heaviest 5 for the most weight. Correct.
What is the long? Like, do you measure them like fish? When you catch a fish, do you measure the length?
No, just weight.
No.
Just weight.
Just weight. You don't measure like a fish with a ruler and anything. No. Okay.
No, but I would be interested to see which one had the biggest set of testicles on it. Like there were some pretty good entries, I think.
Yeah. We do have a question coming in. What does squirrel poop look like? Interesting question
That
we got
is
coming
an
through there from
question.
Jeremy. So sharing on the screen here, it kind of looks like rabbit pellets.
Correct.
So
it basically does.
And the more you know.
A little longer, because rabbit shit's like little balls. So these are
they're like the size of a penny
pellets.
almost as long as a penny.
Yeah, that's fair. And there's a lot of it. Like it blends right in with the ground. So usually
just a lot of it.
It's all right. As long as I don't shit on me, I'm happy. I wonder, I feel like at some point we're gonna find out that the squirrels spread the coronavirus, and everybody's gonna be thanking me for my duty this year in the Squirrel Master Classic, right?
Don't need dogs do already. Dogs already have the coronavirus.
Oh,
see, they said they were immune to it, but it turns out they're not.
No, dogs have it already.
Well, see, now we're all fucked.
Because dogs lick other dogs' butts and
so do we.
They do more than that, and so do we.
So do people, though. It's 2020. Like the big thing about 2020 is eating ass. So
it is.
We're all fucked.
Fuck, we're behind
it is.
Shit.
Oh, guys, come on, get with it. Like half the memes I see in 2020 are all related to eating ass.
So you're saying dogs are smarter than us right now?
I'm just saying they're ahead of the game. Like we're catching up.
Are we falling back or are they catching up? I guess that's the real question.
Probably a little bit of both, but I mean, we've been doing doggy style for how many years? I mean, we could learn a lot from dogs.
Probably. We could learn a lot from each other. We could start there and then work our way backwards to dogs.
I don't think we want to learn a lot from each other.
Oh, yeah. Well, after you go to Walmart, probably not.
Yeah.
I don't want to learn from a lot of people that I see out in public right now.
Yeah. No.
That's fair. What you drinking tonight, sir?
I'm having Bushmills.
Just is that regular Bush Light with whiskey?
Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that.
Just wondering.
I don't recommend mixing light beer and Irish whiskey. I just don't know that. Well, I do know from experience, it's just not a good idea.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good at all.
What do you mix it with then?
You don't.
Just nothing.
Most Irish whiskeys are better with just straight on the rocks or maybe a little splash of water. Like Jameson, I don't like to mix Jameson with anything. I'll
No.
just have, I like Jameson and water. Honestly, that's my favorite. Like with an Irish whiskey, it's just Jameson with a splash of water on top. That's good.
Another good one. If you come across the Dubliner, that's a good one.
How much is
Cheap,
that
too.
bottle
20
there?
That
How
one's
much?
25.
25. Wow, that's pretty cheap.
Yeah, that one's cheap. Opposed to some of the others I have back here that are not fucking cheap, but really fucking good, actually.
It was really fun today going to. We had the I don't know which one's that green spot. I saw that today. I thought about buying that.
Grapes and grains.
Get you a bottle of green spot.
Grains and grapers.
Good.
Now, popped into Fairway today, picked up a little booze, went to the liquor store, picked up a little booze, but it was really funny at Fairway. You got everybody like loading up with all kinds of shit. And as I'm coming through, I got like a couple cases of beer and a couple bottles of booze, and everybody's loaded up with like just regular shit, and they don't have any booze. And I had a couple people like look at me, and then they left the line and went to the booze aisle. They're like, "Fuck, we forgot." Like, it was great. It's like, oh, need to get everybody back on board. I'm just finishing off a little bit of Crown tonight. Nothing fancy, but I did pick up a little bit of supply, as we're talking. Hey, if I have to quarantine, I'm not going to run out of booze. So I got a full bottle of Glen Moray. I got the Oban Little Bay. You guys talked it up a lot. Oban single malt Scotch. I got another bottle of Templeton and Larceny, which after I bought it, you guys said is total dog shit.
Yeah, Phil found that for like $11 a bottle on clearance, and he poured me a snort of it one night, and my gut hurt for probably 12 hours. That was some of the worst fucking bourbon I've ever had.
Did you have the shits or what?
I wish it would have come out of my body, but I think it's still in there. Maybe that's how you fight the coronavirus. Fucking larceny.
Larceny.
Yeah. Meanwhile, still got the Skull vodka. Haven't broke into yet. You guys didn't partake in that when I came down, and then I still have a half bottle in my decanter of that monkey shoulder Scotch, which is good stuff. That's good stuff.
Well, when we do the Crystal Skull vodka review, we can do it on Zoom, and you can join us, because then we can actually all taste the same thing at the same time.
Yeah, and when I was down there, Phil was nice enough. He hooked me up with a little shot of Booker's and some more of that Howard Hooch. So
that was surprisingly good.
It was. So yeah, if we ever have that again together on an episode, he sent some home with me, so I can at least have a small sample, and we can drink a shot together of that. So that was nice of him. Cheers to Phil.
Skippy. Yeah. And we're hearing like I know. Well, it's Phil.
Yeah, it's Phil. I'll text him real quick.
Yeah. We hearing like 2-3 days. Yeah, 2 days, 2 and 3 days actually. We'll have a couple of the videos that we recorded last weekend for the tribute to the presidents. If anybody wants to jump on and follow the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast on YouTube and Spotify, we will have I believe it's the James Madison.
Yep. James Madison's the first one, I think.
James Madison and
Grover Cleveland is coming up. Andrew Jackson. Yep.
So we've got a few of those coming your way, and I have yet to put up the 6 Scotch review. So about that is an hour-long video.
Oh, wow. So you got some. Oh, how's it feel to have to edit? You son of a.
Oh, Tony had to edit that one?
Yeah, we did an hour-long straight.
I edit drinking all the time.
Yeah, but not like that one. That one was rough. On ours, I edit. He does them for the wrestling ones.
Yeah, I edit constantly. I don't think people appreciate the editing that I do. I have to do it live while we're watching the fucking pay-per-view. We'll record for 3 minutes. Phil goes back and watches the show, and I'm doing this the whole time. So my editing's like live during the show. It's craziness. I'm unappreciated.
Oh, poor Tony.
But yeah, this is an hour-long Scotch review, so I'm gonna have to watch that whole thing and make sure there's nothing I have to cut.
You know what's more important to me? Like, I don't really care about the Scotch review, but I just want to know how many rolls of toilet paper Phil has. That's more interesting to me.
Oh, God.
Do we need to count them?
Yeah.
Hey, those pyramid stacks, man.
You were like, that's fucking gold. It's pure gold.
What's so funny? Like, it's like sometimes I don't always keep up with the podcast, but when I see my like Facebook thing pop, or not my Facebook, my YouTube pop up, and then like I clicked it and I seen Phil standing there behind a flag with toilet paper rolls. Like, that was catchy and it was good. It was like, I want to see that episode. Like, it was good. Like, really don't care how many rolls of toilet paper has, but like, it was catchy. It was good. It was funny. Like, it was like, the presentation was hilarious. Like, it's Phil, somebody a flag, and then toilet paper galore and pyramids. Yeah. It was cute. It's funny. I liked it. That's all.
Phil knows how to get the most out of a visual gag. He knows how to do that shit.
He does.
I wonder if I wonder if his panic buying in York earlier, if he found any other visual impulse buys that he'll use on camera.
Probably about some canned tuna.
Yeah, there you go. Just a whole bunch of canned tuna and canned chicken. That'd be fucking fantastic. What you drinking tonight, babe? What do you got?
I got a Busch Light.
Busch Light, yeah. That's a solid choice, always.
My grandma's favorite.
Yeah, hell yeah. We got Jeremy chiming in on the chat. He's drinking Bamboo. Let me pull it up here on the screen.
Did you go to a grocery store that had no booze left? Is that why you're drinking that?
I don't know.
What the fuck is Bamboo?
Here. It's a rum.
Let's find out.
It's like a $40 bottle of rum.
Damn.
That's a cool bottle.
High class.
That's okay. Okay. What kind of rum? Where's this from? Triple gold medal winner at the LA International Spirits Competition. Oh, so this is an American.
American. It is?
Looks like it.
Available in Nebraska.
This craft rum is produced at the West Indies Rum Distillery on the beautiful island of Barbados. Their rum is distilled from Barbados, whatever. I don't fucking care. Their rum is distilled from sugarcane, which is sourced from the Caribbean and South America, and fermented using a yeast strain that dates all the way back to 1840. Handcrafted in small batches using native Caribbean ingredients, the rum is aged for up to 15 years in ex-bourbon barrels and blended for bottling.
Wow, that sounds nice.
What does the symbol in the front of the bottle mean?
It just looks like
I would assume that's skull and bones, but no skull.
Yeah, just bones.
Pirate rum.
Yeah, it's it's pandering. That's what it is.
It's not atheist or anything?
No, it's just pandering.
Okay. Oh, sketchy. All right, fine.
When you think of rum, you think of Johnny Depp on an island and being drunk on a shitty movie.
Well, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, but I think Johnny Depp is just not cute. I don't like him.
I didn't talk about him being cute, but it's good to know. I think he's kind of a shitbag personally. But.
Yeah, I do too. I like his mannerisms and everything. But anyways, moving on.
Okay. That was a quick conversation about Johnny Depp. All right. Let's see what Jeremy's got to say here. It says you got to try it. It's really good. It's $40. He's a little worried about throwing $40 in case it's like crap, but he likes it. And sounds like it's pretty good rum. I'm not a huge rum guy, but I do like a good rum if it is in fact good.
Did you try?
I'm not a Sailor Jerry's fan, so
you tried the Hamptons the other night, didn't you? I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, I did. I'm trying to remember. That was a really, really strong rum, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's the overproofed rum.
Yeah, that was too much.
What does overproof mean? What did you do to my
just
husband?
The highest.
Yeah,
it's just higher proof, like double the alcohol content, basically.
Did you get my husband drunk then?
I couldn't tell you if he was as drunk as me because I took a nap at one point.
After
the
podcast?
No, during.
Middle of it.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
About halfway through part 2. We got part 1 and part 2 uploaded. I got part 3 to do yet. But about halfway through part 2, Tony disappears halfway through the episode, never comes back. And then Jeremy shows up for part 3 and finishes it out in Tony's.
No, I popped back in once Jeremy sat down, and I tried. You
didn't last,
and I didn't last long. I assume. I doubt most of that's even going to make it to the episode, because I'm sure everything I said at that point was bad.
Yeah, it got colorful. I started like drinking myself sober at that point though, because like, so at the end,
that's what I was hoping for.
at the end of the first episode that I cut, right before I was like, okay, and now it's time to cut, like, and then as soon as we cut the episode, I was like, I gotta go take a shit, guys. Like I had the scotch fucking bubblies going on. I had to go. And I felt like ass, man. I had to. It was bad. I didn't think I was gonna make it after that. But yeah, no, I came back and pulled my shit together, and then felt like I drank myself sober.
Like literally pulled your shit together?
Well, I let some shit go, and then I pulled the rest together. How about that? Fair
enough.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured out why my night went so poorly. I think it was probably the slamming the 2 beers for the Grover Cleveland video, and
that was fucking bad idea. No, it was the vodka you did after. Like I calmed down.
Slamming the 2
like,
beers,
energy drink and vodka. That sounds like a good idea.
You did energy drink and vodka?
No, Tony did.
I did. It was 0 sugar. It's okay. It wasn't okay. Oh my God.
Okay.
No, I slammed those 2 beers. No, I thought it would perk me up, and it didn't. It just knocked me on my ass. Because apparently I didn't just go a little. Apparently I went a lot of vodka, and yeah, not a good idea. Slam 2 beers. No, the actual itinerary was me and Phil did a wrestling video with some Booker's rum. Then we did I think it was the Andrew Jackson corn whiskey. Then it was the Grover, or the champagne. And then it was the Grover Cleveland, slam 2 beers. Then we did the 6 scotches. Then we started the episode. And I slammed that monster vodka plus, God, whatever else I was drinking at the time. I think I had some Napoleon Castle. We were doing Templeton. Oh, it was just a mess. I had way too much going on.
What's corn whiskey?
Corn whiskey? Whiskey,
yeah, what's that?
Most distilled from corn.
Yeah, like it's just whatever grain they use on there.
Is that a Nebraska thing? Because it's corn.
Yeah, actually,
there's a lot actually.
Oh,
no, the specific one we drank was from St. Paul.
Oh, how we learned? Didn't know that.
Howard Hooch.
Any more booze talk before we get into?
Good God,
the big scary dark cloud that's hanging over all of us?
Actually, I like to talk a lot about my Prestige Busch Light. Comes from a can. It was put there by a man in a factory downtown.
How aged is that?
It was aged and stuff.
No, I mean
it's got pine trees on it, so it must be old.
It's cold.
Is it a good year?
It's cold and it's smooth and it tastes good. And that's all I know. All right, moving on.
What's the aroma? What's it smell like?
Beer. Yeah,
okay.
It smells like beer.
Okay. How does it hit the palate? What kind of tastes and flavors are you getting?
Beer.
You just smelled it again after I asked for the taste.
It smells like hops and beer and a little taste of alcohol. A small 1% alcohol. Yeah, alcohol.
Fucking nailed it. Nailed it.
Got this.
I just asked her what it tastes like.
A winery.
I just asked her what it tasted like, and she went, "It smells like."
It's a winery. I'll swish it around. It was so sophisticated. It's a Busch Light.
Would you like a glass?
Would you? Yes.
Spit it out.
You can. No. It's sophisticated
you get a
Busch
bucket?
Light.
You get a bucket and you spit it out after tasting it at a wine.
No.
Yeah,
that
you
is
do.
wasteful.
At the high class
especially
one.
at these times right now, Tony. Why would you waste beer by spitting it out? This is hard.
You are pissing her off.
I'm
right
not
now. Can you tell?
saying you should. I'm saying at the high class wine tastings, they taste it, swish it around, and they spit it out.
No, not
and
nowadays.
Then you sneak in. No, then you sneak in and go out to the dumpster and you grab the bucket and you drink the bucket of everybody's samples. It's delicious.
It's a hard time.
That's how I got.
You want to drink what you got and drink the fucking bucket of puke or whatever you're saying. Gotta drink it all, man. Hard times.
That was the thing. That what you guys said. I did something stupid. I dumped like 4 boozes into one glass and started drinking.
You do lots of stupid things. I'm just kidding.
I did.
I'm just kidding.
Bill said something about I took like the Templeton rye, that overproof rum, and maybe the vodka, and dumped it all into a cup and started drinking it, talking about how great it was. They're like, oh, well, that explains a lot.
I don't remember that. I haven't got to that part of the video yet.
Did you talk about the taste, the samples, and everything else? And blah, blah, blah?
Well, the more you drink, the better everything tastes. That's why it's hard to review that many boozes in one night. So, yeah, we all rated the scotches really highly. I hope that it was a
most
fair
of them,
rating.
yeah.
Yeah, like, oh,
we didn't shit
beyond
on
the
any
top
of them.
shelf. No, I was already buzzed by the time we started the scotches.
Well, while we're waiting for Phil, I'm gonna bust open this Oban. I gotta try it since we're talking so much about it.
Splash of water if you've got one.
Yeah, I'll do a little splash of water, maybe a little.
That came in a huge ass tube with a tiny fucking bottle. It's just like
it's a bottle that's the same size as the tube.
It's kind of like being a woman when you get disappointed.
Oh, wow. Jesus. She's fucking going for the throat tonight. Man. Jesus.
So, wow. It doesn't fit in snug is what you're saying. I got it.
Oh, that's good. He's God. That's, yeah.
Look at this one. I have a box. I have a box with a bottle in it. And there's a lot of room actually in that one. Oh, shit.
He's getting his box out for you.
You gonna show me your box, Tony?
Hey, truth be told, I've actually got a wooden box here.
That's weird.
Jeremy Cooner, what do you think of these boxes? I hope he's still watching.
Yeah, Jeremy's still there.
Jeremy, what do you think of these boxes?
All right.
He's
so
puking.
Yeah, he's puking in the chat right now. So real quick, this is the Oban Little Bay single malt Scotch. You guys rated it really high. Before we get into coronavirus, need a nice little pick me up real quick. And
are we gonna talk about that?
Yeah, we're gonna start talking about it here in a second. What else is there to talk about? Like, I think we covered everything else. Like, now it's time to get into the bad shit. Jesus Christ, it smells strong.
I smell it.
It does smell strong. Yeah. Tell me what you smell, Amber.
So Jeremy wants to see some sexy labels. I'm just gonna give you the Oban sexy label.
Way too blue. Oh, there it is. There you go.
There it goes. Well, and then Tony has to talk, and then it goes away. There we go.
This smells like straight tequila.
Oh God.
Tequila?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, yes, it does.
No, she hasn't had she doesn't drink hard liquor very often. So.
Oh, but back in our younger days when we used to party at the bar,
you weren't drinking scotch.
This smells like tequila. It smells like tequila. I used to do tequila and limes with my crazy Mexican friends.
Jeremy wants to talk about different shapes of boxes. I like it.
This is Mexican fucking tequila. I used to drink that with my friends.
All right.
It's not.
It is.
Scottish.
Fucking is not Scottish. It's Mexican.
What you think?
Oh, God.
I should have rinsed out with water first, but
Jesus Christ, you're gonna get fucking drunk off that shit in no time.
No, that's why I just did a little bit.
Oh God, totally inebriated. Here, want some Busch Light?
It's got a nice finish to it.
You some Busch Light?
Yeah,
it's smooth. It's a really nice finish.
You some Busch Light?
I can cinnamon aftertaste for sure.
Yeah. I was surprised by the aftertaste on that one. That one's one of the cheaper Obons too, and it's for a Scotch. That's an affordable high scale Scotch. It's one of the lower end of their line. Their 14 is probably the best one I've had so far. But yeah, that Little Bay is really good. If you find a bottle of Little Bay and you like Scotch, you won't be disappointed. I really like that one.
That is good. I'm really happy with that one. Wow.
That's got a fairly, if I remember right, like a decent amount of honey on the first initial taste.
Yeah, it's a little thick and syrupy almost feel to it, but not strong on that taste. You definitely know you're drinking Scotch, but yeah, I like the aftertaste. That's really what I really like.
It smells just like tequila though. It's crazy. It smells just
does
like
not
tequila.
smell like tequila.
Oh,
no.
I'm really
tequila.
smart.
We
I'm
gotta
really smart and I know things. It smells like tequila.
Are you really smart? You write stuff down?
So fucking smart.
It's Craig's facts.
Craig's facts.
Yeah. We got
look at this.
Grow the Farm Up joined us again tonight. Pitter patter. Let's get at her. Letterkenny rules. So where'd we get this shirt? He's gotta get one. So where did you get that one? Okay, so you bought both of these for me, but that one came in too small.
Who's asking, Brian?
No, Grow the Farm Up, a viewer on the live stream here. So
yeah.
So where'd you get that one? Where'd you get this one? Because this one I got to figure it out with the Letterkenny dog.
Yes, I ordered both hers from Amazon, and this one I ordered in a medium for my husband for Christmas, but it came like in a size small, so it fit me. So I was like, I'm gonna wear this one forever. And then I
think she did it on purpose.
Maybe
because I'm a size large, by the way.
I was gonna say. Like, I feel like that was intentional. Definitely intentional. Wait, did she just say she went through Amazon to get that?
Yeah, every time I see a package show up, I get mad.
Walmart doesn't sell fucking Letterkenny shit. Walmart doesn't. I mean, what are you supposed to do when you're a big fan of Letterkenny? I don't know how you're supposed to provide.
They don't even sell milk, bread, or fucking hand sanitizer or toilet paper either, apparently.
Jesus. I tell you what, when my bonus gets smaller over the years, I'm going to blame you.
Hey, it's not my fault. They don't sell proper necessities like Letterkenny shirts and shit.
Yeah, well, when my bonus is smaller, I'm going to be like, it's not my fault.
But hey, we have good sweatshirts, so whatever.
Yeah. So we're happy.
Yeah, but there's like Spider-Man underwear and like pug onesies and unicorn poop hats. So you guys got those bases covered.
Yeah, we got yeah. I don't know what to say to that.
We don't have little kids anymore. Our kids are like,
I'm in the banana business. How about that? I'm all about your bananas are going to be green, by the way. Any store you go to, that's another fun fact with this whole coronavirus thing. All bananas are being expedited to go faster. All strawberries are going to be expedited, so you're going to have white tips on the top of your strawberries. Everything's getting picked early.
Bullshit! Because if I went into Superfoods right now,
well, not Superfoods. I meant a real grocery store.
Half the strawberries are already moldy. Every time I buy strawberries there, I get up to the checkout lane and not moldy. Take it back. No, just buy frozen or just don't buy your fruit at Superfoods.
It's so we'll transition over to the coronavirus talk. It's been fascinating. Just being.
Can we review quickly how badly we have dropped the ball on this one? Because when our episode
necessarily did,
we undersold it a bit on our coronavirus episode, and then before that was the episode with Jeremy at Phil's house, and you opened up with the Corona bottle, and we pretended to freak out with that, and we talked a little bit about it, and I don't know. Since then, it went from fucking nothing to top gear. So.
Yeah.
Alone this week, you and Phil went live twice already talking about it, so it's become a huge deal.
Yeah. So from the start of this whole thing, we might have downplayed a little bit, but it was more of the, hey, we got this. It's not going to be that big a deal. It's going to be another H1N1 or you name the virus that's come out of China. We're figuring it's going to be similar, maybe a little worse. but figured we would have, most of our ducks in a row. However, obviously that didn't happen. And even when it was starting to spread, when we did our actual coronavirus episode, I kind of did okay, like, don't freak out, but it's not a bad idea. Like, if you go buy extra water and extra food and a few extra supplies, like, guess what? You're still going to go through it. So it's, no harm, no foul. It's not a bad idea to stock up a little bit. Now it's like, I was like, no, don't stock up on toilet paper, because I know what happens. So the psychology around toilet paper, I think that's where I want to start with this. Because nobody understands.
Let's get into why toilet paper has been the first domino to fall on the freak out before we all get quarantined.
So everybody's got this in the back of their mind of like, what is going to be the shortage? They want to know what the shortage is, because that's what we're weird, panicky human people. Like, this is just in our nature. And when there's a shortage, 22 ammo, I like to bring that one up. It really wasn't a shortage. It was just every time it showed up, everybody just bought it all up. There was the same amount as there was before. It was just a select group of people just bought it all. So it seemed like there was a shortage.
It didn't sit there for 6 fucking months. People bought it.
Right. And that's the same thing with toilet paper right now. There is no shortage. It's just a small group of individuals are buying it all up and nobody else can get to it. So it seems like a shortage. Now, this all starts because, especially with toilet paper, and this is where it's different from 22 ammo. 22 ammo comes in a little box about this big. It's not that great, but
what's 22 ammo? Explain that.
22 caliber ammo for guns, the really small bullets. Now it does relate to where you look at an ammo case. So you look, let's take it back to, for those of you that know guns, you look at an ammo case at a Walmart store, and 22 ammo takes up a nice chunk of section. If one person comes in and buys out, say, 10 boxes of 22 ammo, it looks empty, right? Even though it's really not that bad and it's only 10 boxes, it's not that much, but it looks empty. Now, picture that on a Walmart with toilet paper. Somebody comes in, one person that's a prepper, just say some random prepper's like, I'm going to go sit in my bunker. I'm done. I'm going to go hide. What are you doing over there? You got all kinds of noise. Anyways, so say somebody comes in and buys 10 cases of toilet paper. Now, it's just one person, but if I'm a random person comes in shopping at 9 a.m. and sees this big, huge hole empty because one person bought 10 cases of toilet paper. Now I take a picture of that, post it on Facebook. Then you see it. Then you see it. Then you see it. Then you see it. And everybody's like, oh my God, are we going to run out of toilet paper? Now there's this little niche stuck in the back of your head. You see a meme about it, you see a joke about it, and everybody talks about it. And the faster that spreads, then we all subconsciously are panicking about toilet paper. That's the same thing that happened with 22 ammo. You subconsciously panic about it, even though it's not really a shortage. It's more of I can't get enough to everybody to appease the 10% that are freaking out. But it's a visual experience is where it starts, and then it mass spreads, and then all of a sudden now it is a panic. It's like everybody sees big, huge empty shelves. Now that's all you see on Facebook. That's all you see on Twitter. That's all you see on anything is big, huge, empty side counters, because I don't know, we're humans and we will win, and we don't win until we empty that fucking shelf. Like,
that's what Americans do. They're consumers.
Yeah, and we win.
Yeah.
No, it's you're right. It's 100% what you're saying. Like, the supply is still there. It's just the distribution and the supply are being bought up quicker. It's not like there's a shortage yet, because if it keeps up at this rate, eventually there will be, because the actual production will slow if this continues past what we're, experiencing in the 30 days. But it's a classic case of monkey see, monkey do. And that's just animalistic nature. Monkeys in the wild won't eat specific berries until they see other monkeys eat them, because they know some berries are poisonous, and that's where we get the term monkey see, monkey do. So like children won't do specific things until they see you do something. Like, oh, I don't want to brush my teeth. So you show them I can brush my teeth. Then they're like, okay, I'm comfortable with it. But that also works in the panic mode. If you see somebody stocking up on bottled water and cereal and toilet paper and hand sanitizer, and you see another person do that, you go to Walmart and it's busy and somebody rolls through the cart full of that stuff. And then you see somebody else with a cart full of that stuff. In the back of your head, you're like, well, I didn't take this serious before. But now that I'm physically seeing it with my own 2 eyes in person, you're going to be more inclined to start throwing some shit in your cart. And then somebody's going to see you doing that. And it's a domino effect. It's a chain reaction. It's
at a certain point, you're like, well, God damn it. What if I do need that?
Exactly. And that's what we did tonight. That's exactly what we did tonight. Like, we know we need milk. We go through milk like crazy. So we buy 3-4 gallons at a time anyway. But now I'm like, well, shit, we got 1.5 gallons in the fridge, but let's go buy 3-4 gallons because I don't want to run out, because then I've got 3 screaming kids and that sucks. And I'm not going back to formula.
Yeah. Well, I like formula. I'll go back to it. No.
Fuck you. Man, I was spending $70 a week on that shit when the twins were drinking formula. Oh my God. No. Fuck that.
No.
And the worst was when Jarek was on that fucking Alimentum shit. Not adamantium like Wolverine. Alimentum. It smelled horrible.
What the hell is that? Elemental.
It's just like it's not the sensitive, but it's like if they have a slight, not allergic reaction, but if they have like an upset stomach,
celiac something.
Yeah, it was one of the Similacs, Alimentum, and it was like twice as much. It was fucking bullshit. Luckily, we weren't on that long.
Now, wrapping up the toilet paper talk, kind of explaining a little bit why the panic
wrapping up the toilet paper.
Yeah. So, so hopefully we understand a little bit better, like why that happens, but it's really emotional responses to being in control. And if I don't have this item, that means I may not be in control. If I can't have this and be comfortable, I'm not in control. It's a, and then
you don't want to be the only one without the item that everybody is clamoring for. You don't want to be left out.
You got a little bit of that because that's like a social construct that's been built into us over the years. But then it's like, what if I really do need toilet paper? Because you text me when I was in the hotel the other night and like,
steal it.
Walmart didn't fill our toilet paper order, so I thought we were out, and so I stole the toilet paper out of my fucking hotel room.
2 rolls.
Damn right you did.
But you paid $100 or $200 for that night stay, technically. So 2 rolls of toilet paper for $200.
Oh yeah, I'll fucking steal it every time if that's what it comes down to. But this is just getting silly though.
Yeah.
Oh, see.
But when I showed her the toilet paper, it was like a Christmas present. Like her eyes lit up more than anything I've given her as a present before. Like it was better than the day I proposed. Like she was like, "Oh my God."
I know that when he proposed, he didn't mean it. But when he gave me that toilet paper tonight, I was like, "Oh, he loves me so much. Like he did this for me."
So I made up for it. Okay.
Boy, years of marriage.
It was really nice.
Years of marriage. It's weird what gifts you give each other. I love that. Jeremy,
17 years later, 2 rolls of toilet paper in 2020. Who would have known?
No. 17 years later, we sat and watched 2 Girls, 1 Cup together for the first time with Tony.
Oh God.
Remember who didn't puke? Remember who didn't gag? Remember me that I was just like, I don't give a shit. Look at them. I work in nursing. I don't give a shit if they shit all over each other. I want to go to the fucking bar right now and get a goddamn turtle. That's all I remember. I got off work at 10 o'clock at night and I was like, I don't give a shit. They shit all over each other. Let's go to the fucking bar and get a turtle.
She's going Phil mode on us.
She is. She did go Phil mode, but no, that's actually. I've got the video of the of all of our react. That's an episode in itself. We'll have to review that, but we do have a couple things on the chat we need to talk about. We've got a couple questions here. Jeremy suggested need to start getting the camping section dehydrated food, and then
with the camping section. That's another tip and trick for those looking for toilet paper. I did post this in somebody's thread on Facebook.
Yes.
But if you go to Walmart and you're looking for toilet paper, you can't find any. Of course, look for the wet wipes over in the health and beauty aids area. If those are gone, you can always go over to hey, those wet wipes, they're not that much different than baby wipes, so you can find some cheap baby wipes too.
Also, as a woman, I would say do the dry makeup wipes in desperate situations because they're you can sure do that too.
But if you are willing to spend the money, in the automotive section, there's the Kampa Chem toilet paper. It's biodegradable. It's better for the environment. It costs like, it's almost like 90 cents a roll. It's not cheap, but it's good toilet paper.
Also, my dad advised me is what he's doing in hard times. If he comes down to it, is in the TLE section, automotive. They have the dry shop clause.
Those blue ones.
They're not flushable, but you can still use them if you gotta take care of your shit.
When you gotta wipe, you gotta wipe.
Yeah, that's what my dad was suggesting. Worst times, so that's that.
Here, guys.
Jesus, what do you got going on?
Do you have bubble wrap? Are you popping bubbles? I want bubble wrap.
No,
you have? I'm jealous.
That's why she orders shit from Amazon, because she wants the bubble wrap.
I want bubble wrap.
Okay, here's a trick, guys. I'm going to show you real quick before we completely disband on the TP talk. This is a survival trick. Like if you're down to like your last like 2 sheets of toilet paper and you're completely fucked, you take the sheets. Well, obviously this is just like, this isn't toilet paper, but you know the drill.
Is it bubble wrap or not?
Damn it. It's not bubble wrap.
Damn it.
So you take your last 2 sheets, you take your 2 fingers like so, you jam them through here, you get all up in there, you just clean it out real good, and then you pull it off clean. Problem solved, guys. This is how you can serve TP.
I have a lot more information on how to keep yourself clean in these times of needs. When you go back to our ancestor times, not even ancestors, like maybe our great grandparents back in.
Oh fuck! Here,
What our grandparents would be. What?
Warning!
What?
What's
warning? We are about to be fucking invaded, guys. Like I'm just telling you right now. Real quick, I wanted to get in. Yep, I wanted to mention quick. Grow the Farm Up had a question for you guys. I believe. What is your favorite Letterkenny character and best quote?
Wayne. There's several. But it'd be one that I got thinking right now is buddy, you couldn't wheel a fucking tire down a hill. Like I meet a lot of stupid people every day, so
you can relate to that. That's nice.
One of the people watching there are asking.
Oh, gotcha.
She's not used to this live thing with random people asking questions.
I'm a little confused. I don't know.
His username on there is Grow the Farm Up. So when we say Grow the Farm Up, ask a question, that's his username on there. It's like if I was Where's My Shoe, that's my username on everything. So.
Jeremy,
I'm just trying to get you caught up.
Jeremy chimed in. He was feeling me because he had to get the special kind of formula as well, and I feel you. But he also said, go to the fish tank area and get the 3 seashells.
Oh, fucking Jesus Christ. Fucking A, buddy. Yes. Demolition Man.
Yes.
Classic.
So we are there. We are officially there. If we start doing the seashells in the bathroom, we're already on the automated sex. We've covered that on countless episodes. And I think we'll have to do an update on that real soon, because I feel like the coronavirus is going to do nothing but make people not want to fuck each other.
So I imagine Grow the Farm Up sitting there right now, shaking his head, saying, "You're made of spare parts, aren't you, bud?" Yeah, another Letterkenny reference there.
He said, "Wheel snipe, Selly boys." before that.
What? Oh, Wheel Snipe, Silly Boys. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. No. We got a Letter Kenny fan in the crowd tonight. Appreciate that.
Phil's next comment. He was in the chat there.
This episode needs more
out.
Phil KOE. Jesus, 40 minutes out.
I know. This is Phil time.
This king of punctuality is what we call Phil now. He's KOP.
Oh my God.
Phil in here?
Well, no, that's Phil chatting. He's 40 minutes out.
I'm gonna find the clip of this. You go ahead and talk. I'm gonna find something for you.
So this is what we deal with Phil all the time. So
Phil's late.
Oh yeah, he is super late. So he calls himself the king of extreme, Phil KOE, and we call him Phil KOP, king of punctuality, because he can't show up to anything on time. He'll be like, "Hey guys, I'll be ready in like 30 minutes." And like an hour will go by, and we're like, "Where the fuck is Phil?"
Well, it's obvious because he's rich and privileged.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's it. That's what it is. Rich and privileged. Jesus Christ! I have to jump.
I think Phil just doesn't give a shit about anything.
He doesn't, and he's rich and privileged.
Okay.
It's both.
Is it?
Yeah, both.
I'll let Phil answer that later. That'll be fun.
Phil.
He's leaving McCool. Oh, what's 40 minutes? McCool's not that far.
Tell him I'm bash shit talking to him majorly.
Oh, he can hear you. He's in the chat right now, so he's apparently watching or listening. Well, distraction from Phil real quick. So I'm finishing up that first glass of Oban. It really gets better as it goes too. That's what I really like about this. This is something I could sip on all night.
That's the best part of Scotch, baby. It just gets better as the night goes on.
It does, but I'm not switching to 15 fucking different ones at a time. So,
yeah, hindsight 2020, man.
Oh, I like this. Grow the Farm Up says, if you're going to wait on Phil, you just as well go mix a batch boys, because he's busy with electric lettuce.
What's electric lettuce?
I don't know what.
In a salad? Is that tossed in a salad?
Let's go with that.
Yeah, let's go with that.
No, you guys are being simple to me. Like right now, like is like electric salad like worse than a man tossing salad? Is it worse than a man fucking another man? What's an electric salad? It's worse, isn't it? You guys aren't telling me. What's an electric salad?
So I'm checking Phil's chiming in. I resemble that remark.
Tell me what electric salad is. It's bad, isn't it? Is it? Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, it is. Yeah, electric salad sounds terrible. Tossed salad is man on man. Electric salad sounds really bad. Like, what is it?
Oh,
what is it? Do you want to say it?
No, I don't want to say it.
We're live. We're live. God. Okay, so
I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, so Grow the Farm Up saying no electric lettuce is a letter Kenny. So yeah, when you take it deeper and you actually look it up online, it gets pretty dirty. That's not for live on YouTube, but it is a letter Kenny reference. I have heard it on there before. That's not where I'm familiar with it. Maybe my mind's just in the gutter, or maybe I'm thinking of something else. So
I know what it is.
Hey guys, I just got the Google result, and it is the urban.
Hey, we're live.
It's the urban.
We're live.
It's the urban salad bar, and it's closed right now. But the operations.
Okay, so yeah, her Google results suck.
The urban results are in California, and they're closed right now.
Okay. So real quick,
that's
Tony,
unfortunate.
I don't know where
I can freak you guys out, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I don't know where you're getting ready to go, Tony. But so back to coronavirus.
Yes, back.
A little bit of chat around that. It's crazy. It feels like a weird movie right now. Like, so I went from 2-3 days ago, was like specifying certain things that stores needed to do and how they handle certain situations on a day-to-day business. And now it's like, hey, everything I told you in the last 3 years, stop fucking doing it. I don't care about any of that anymore. Like, we just like, the rule book is thrown out in retail right now. And it's just get your shit together, put shit out on the floor, clean everything, and like that's the message. That's really, and it's kind of comforting in a way, because it's like there's like a steps to what you should be doing every day. It's clean, fill it, and then take care of your customer. That's all we're telling everybody right now. I'm not giving any special direction. And when I come into a store, it's like, how can I help you make a better decision to do this, this, and this? It's just those three things, nothing else. Super simple message. It's refreshing, but at the same time, I kind of like sit here and shake my head of like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, why am I here? Other than to calm people down and to get their mind straight, I guess I'm okay with that. But at the same time, it's just like,
well, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a dad to a whole bunch of adults. To a whole bunch of adults.
Oh,
weird.
Well, that's
weird.
Yeah.
I'll grow the farm up.
We just get dark.
He's giving us a little shit. So electric lettuce is Smokey the Wacky Tobacco, and yeah, I do remember that reference.
As going there.
Okay, so I can hold on. I might just pop it into the chat and show you what I know of electric lettuce to mean.
Right.
That's why I didn't want to talk about it, but so maybe we'll just post it in the chat. We won't talk about it live on here. That way.
But while you're doing that, we were talking about this earlier. This is a DVD you burned me years and years ago.
2 Girls, 1 Cup on DVD.
It's not that, well, the video might be on there, but that is our reactions. Well, when I first showed it to you, and then we got everybody else and Amber's, I believe, on there to watch. Yes. So I have it right here.
I remember my reaction. I was like, oh, I work in a nursing home. I don't really give a shit if these girls are shitting. I was like, I just want to go to the bar and get a fucking turtle.
You were just stone-faced, like.
I didn't give a shit. It was 10 o'clock at night. I worked fucking 80 hours that day. I did 2 jobs. I worked 80 hours a day. You guys showed that to me at 10 o'clock at night. And all I wanted to do was go to the fucking bar and have a turtle. And you showed me that poop thing. I'm like, I don't care. I was like, I just want to go drink a beer. That was really, I remember that night.
For those of you wondering why she keeps saying turtle, there was a drink called a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, it was my favorite.
It's like Blue Morocco, Blue Maui, maybe.
Yeah,
Midori, shit like that.
Yeah, something. I don't know, but it was good. I don't know how they made it, but it was good. My favorite drink.
Yeah, it had Midori in it for sure. It was super sugary, a little watermelony, and with a little lime flavor. And they were good. And it like glowed green in the black light.
It was cool.
It did. It looked cool as shit.
Nice. It was cool.
So quick update. I'm actually not going to post it because I was incorrect. I will succeed. Grow the farm up. I was actually thinking of electric salad, not lettuce, which led to tossed salad. So apparently I was getting it mixed up there. Because when I looked it up, I was like, oh yeah, what I'm thinking of is not that.
So what's an electric salad?
It's a Letterkenny reference.
To what? What does it mean? What's an electric salad?
Smoking.
Smoking.
Getting high. Yeah. Getting shitty.
Like we use as code word for other things?
No. What do you got there?
McAllen.
You got some McAllen. Let's see. Jeremy puts hold on, let me make sure we're not skipping anything over. So Phil says there's no TP in York. We already knew that. Is that cigarette made by Willy Wonka?
You're asking about Wacky Tobacco.
Oh, gotcha.
It's a pun. How do you not fucking
Phil
get
thinks
that?
I have a brain. That's good. Phil says you've got a brain, chicken. Rare commodities in strange times, especially at a big box mart. DVD, Jesus, Grandpa. Yeah. I believe that DVD was probably made and given to you 15 years ago, Tony. Am I wrong?
of the 2 Girls 1 Cup, that would be circa 2007.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I
really?
think 2007. Yeah.
6 or
You
7.
guys still live behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you live behind the bar.
Yeah. It's 2007. Yeah, that's true.
Jeremy
It's
Cunard,
true.
aka Cleansbot, just need to start building more of these and place them everywhere. And then Grow the Farm Up. If you got a problem with Majestic Canada Goose, you got a problem with Grow the Farm Up, and I suggest that you let that one marinate. Wow.
Ooh. Teriyaki or like smoky mesquite?
You know, I personally I like mesquite. I
I'm
like to
not a
make
huge
my own
mesquite fan. I like
marinades.
teriyaki myself.
I like my own marinades because I like to mix shit up, and you know I'll
Yes,
take the
yes.
ideas of marinades and kind of throw them together. Because really, if you're not just doing salt and pepper, you're doing something wrong. And do I got that wrong? Grow the Farm Up, because it should be just S&P. He'll get the reference.
I like S&M myself.
Yeah, you would.
It's all about eating ass in 2020, guys.
It's all about eating ass in 2020. That's where we're at. Okay. We're like an hour into this and we're still talking about eating ass. That hasn't changed.
We're an hour in. Are you serious?
Yeah. It goes fast, I'm telling you. So Phil wants to marinate in red wine. It's amazing. I don't know about that. I'm not a wino. I'm not a fan of wine in general. I'll have a wine every now and then when you're not around. Yeah, he is.
You will?
He is.
No, you won't.
If you're not around and somebody offers me wine, I'll drink wine.
You can't have that.
I can't have that. No, okay. I live under a dictatorship now.
You know.
Well, yeah. You're
Okay,
married.
All right.
Diabetic. How can you have fucking wine?
I can have a glass of wine. I'll be fucking fine. Just like I can have a beer. I'll be fine. Jesus Christ.
Were you guys taking good care of him or not taking good care of him? That's what I want to know. I'm worried now.
Heathen, says Phil. So back to coronavirus chat. Tony, what are you surprised by? Because like this week was super strange. Like I said, the beginning of the week, everything kind of like came out of the gate kind of slow, and it seemed like things were gonna be, it's just gonna be business as usual. And then all of a sudden Wednesday, Trump comes on, makes the speech, and shit has hit the fan. And every day since then has just been like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's probably my biggest surprise from all of this. And by that I mean Trump's response. Like you said that you really enjoyed that first initial crisis response that Trump put out there. And then go ahead.
No, I think it was here's why I liked it was so the reason I liked that he eventually fucking said something was because everybody's been waiting for him to say something. Whether I didn't think anything that he said was super terrible. Sure, he had to clarify stuff, but everybody has to clarify things. It was a short address. It wasn't very long, not a lot of details. The criticism I would give it now would be probably should have anticipated, the CNNs of the world of there's a lot of details involved with what I'm saying tonight. I will have clarification for you in the coming hours at this website. Because then that would have squashed the media's opportunity to make him look like an asshat, because that's all they tried to do. And in everything they try to do, whether you like what he's doing or not, or what he's saying or not, that's all they're trying to do is just try to make him look like an asshat in any way. And it's happening. We're in a pandemic, and they're quick to. Whoa, what was that? They're quick to do this. Jump in and say Donald Trump is taking everything lightly while we're in the middle of a pandemic, but then they'll turn around and just criticize everything that our president's doing in the middle of a pandemic and not give him credit for anything that he's actually trying to do. So it's really confusing. you would think if it's actually this big of a crisis, which it seems to be a big deal, if we're actually in this big of a deal, you think that they would want to help move the country forward, but it doesn't seem that way. And I thought the bickering and the fighting would stop. But it seems like we're doubling down. CNN's doubling down. You got Don Lemon the other night, just made me want to fucking throw up in my mouth. It was disgusting how he was responding. Now some of them, I got to be fair, there's some newscasters that are like, no, this is serious. We need to take it serious. Like, let's get the facts straight. We're not pointing blame. We're not going to do this. There's a couple of them that have straightened their shit up, but the main ones, no. Your Don Lemons, your Rachel Maddows, like they're all garbage, and like they're separating themselves from the pack as being the worst of the worst. So that it's good because now it's really easy to trim the fat, in my opinion, on your news sources.
Yeah, that's part of it. Like that's my thing. Like you just said, the people who want nothing more than to use this as more ammunition to shit on Donald Trump because they were already shitting on Donald Trump. Like, it's easy to see that person and go, okay, identified. You're going to shit on him regardless. He didn't respond fast enough. And then when he did respond, well, he's overreacting. Oh, well, now he's underreacting. So it doesn't matter what he did. You were going to shit on him. It's easy to identify those news sources and those people. But at the same time, yeah, there are people who are at least saying some constructive criticism things that you're like, okay, well, at least that's well thought out. So it's from both ends of the spectrum. And that's the thing that surprised me the most was the initial reaction to when we went from an idle to an overdrive in the matter of like 24 hours. The response wasn't, oh goodness, how do we come together as society? A lot of the response was Trump. My God,
that son of a bitch. I don't know what he did, but fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him. Like, that's all it was.
He was the last thing on my mind when this went into full gear. And that's the problem here. Like, I don't get it. Like, we failed. Let's face it. Our country and the CDC failed as a whole to really truly prevent this from really becoming a big problem. Like, we probably should have been in a better place. Let's face that. But you were talking the other day, what we had available wasn't 100% foolproof. No, we don't want to be sending out false positives, but we also want to be doing something. The administration kind of blew it off a little bit, like it wasn't a big deal, turned into a really big fucking deal. They had to backtrack a bit. Then he kind of doubled down the other way with some tweets, and you don't really know where they're coming from. Pence says one thing, Trump says another thing, Pence goes another way. So we're kind of all over the place in response to this.
So
that's my problem.
Let me address that real quick, because so the current test that they had, and that's what Tony was alluding to, was like, if you were going to get tested for coronavirus in the US like a week or 2 or 3 or 4 weeks ago, we were getting tests from the World Health Organization that was pretty much a throat swab. The sensitivity level was only 70% on the throat swab, which like
I thought it was throat and then 2 nose swabs.
Well, the original one was the throat swab, but the sensitivity level on the testing in general was about 70%. So that it doesn't mean you have a 30% error rate, but it's the potential for a 30% error rate. So when this started hitting the US, they were like, don't like that. And then they had other tests that were even worse. They were like only 30 to 60% good. So like you could have a 70% error rate on some tests. So when the US started getting these cases, and the reason we were so slow for tests was because, we're looking, you could be wrong 70% of the time, and at our best test, you could still be wrong 30% of the time. Not saying you always will be, but that's the possibility. So either we're going to tell people that they don't have it that do, or we're going to tell people that have it that don't. So we could cause a lot of problems with that. So the CDC was like, fuck all of these tests. These are garbage. And they went back to the drawing board and started making their own tests. Well, their own tests sucked. Their own tests, it cost too much to make. They took too long to get results, and they weren't accurate results. And then that's where, when it started becoming more and more serious, Trump outsourced a lot of this. Now we have good testing that you can get results within 24 to 36 hours. You can get, if you're in like dire straits and have to go to the ER, they can give you it's not a CAT scan. God damn it. What is it? It's the damn machine.
CT.
They can give you CT scan of your lungs and tell you within 15 minutes. Like, so we figured out how to test, but that was the challenge, was you had to figure out how to test. Now,
CT's your head, right? We're thinking of
which one is it? What?
God damn, CT's your head.
It's not an X-ray, but it's like whatever.
CAT scan, MRI.
CAT scan. Yes, CAT.
I don't know. It was one of those. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not going to try to.
I've been watching House, dude. It's CAT scan. Trust me.
I've been watching House. Nice. But anyway, so now we have reliable testing, and we know how to confirm these cases with a less margin of error. Like our margin of error right now is like really, really low. He stated that today. It was like 97% of our tests are coming through correctly. So that's fantastic. Now we're not fucking around. We're not telling people they have it when they don't, and people they don't have it when they do. So we got that solved. Now we have to test people. That's when this shit takes off. It's really going to launch, and this shit is far from over. The next 2-3 weeks, you're going to see more panic. And I think, I'm seeing it from people all over on Facebook, is like the media needs to calm the fuck down. They need to be held accountable, because we all know, it is widespread knowledge, this is going to go crazy. Ohio is flat out saying we have over 100,000 people and we haven't even tested 100 yet. Like it's Jeremy
that's
Tuner
a fucking
said,
problem.
VQ scan, pulmonary ventilation scan. Okay. But either way, we figured out how to test and how to get these scans right is where we're at today. Now we know how to test it. Let's test it. Let's get a baseline. Let's figure out where we're at. But you know what probably disgusts me more, and I should probably wait for Phil to get on and before bringing this up, but I was just absolutely disgusted as we look at the financial part of this, and they're trying to pass this Corona bill. Trump just kind of was like, fuck it, we're doing state of emergency. Let's get $50 billion sucked into the economy right now so we can pay for all this shit. Meanwhile, and I haven't read everything that they tried to include into the Corona bill that they're trying to pass through. But I did send you that video, Tony, of I had read it earlier, and then I saw it again on Tucker Carlson, because when I first read it, it was from kind of a shitty source, and I was like, I doubt that's real. I saw it on Tucker Carlson. I'm like, it's a little bit more reliable, but sometimes shit slips through on there too. But I finally sent you guys that video when I did look up. The Democrats' coronavirus bill was trying to help pay for, I can't remember the name of the specific law they're trying to fund. It pretty much helps fund public or taxpayers paying for abortions, is really what it comes down to. Tucker Carlson's comment live on Fox News tonight was classic. It was something yada yada yada, and then he's like, the coronavirus doesn't kill children, but the Democrats want to change that. And that's what it seems like to me.
Wait, did you just say you were watching Fox News?
Yes.
Oh, so you're a Trumper piece of shit, and everything you say is a lie. Fuck you. You're a fucking piece of shit.
But I was watching CNN 10 minutes before that.
Nope, doesn't matter. You're a Trumper piece of shit. Fuck you.
Oh, but the Trumper piece of shits will tell me that
fuck you.
that I'm a liberal commie now. Phil calls me a commie. You call me a yeah, Jesus.
No, there's no winning. You can't win. Doesn't matter. There's no winning. Even when you try to be in the middle, it's impossible. Fuck people. People suck. But no, you're right. That was funny because it just proves that even the people that are using this as an outrage so that they can shit on Donald Trump and the Republicans, it still kind of proves that there's still an ulterior motive here, and nobody's innocent, and everything that every politician says is pretty much bullshit, because on the other side of the veil they still have an agenda, and that's what it is. So everybody can pick sides and plant their flag on one side of the aisle or the other. Go ahead. Nobody's innocent. Nobody's innocent. There's still evil on both sides.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think this is time to plant your flag. I think this is time for no flags to be planted. I think this is
exactly. If there was ever going to be a time for the fucking phrase of "reach across the aisle," this is kind of it. Let's
too
stop
cliche.
The pandemic.
It's too cliche.
Every time there's ever a time for it.
Yeah. From at this point forward, like anybody that's just like doing the hard left or the hard right push, I think I have a pretty good argument on both sides to shut the fuck up. And that does no good. Like to do that. Like I get there's going to be ones that just need left out of the conversation. I think that's where we're at today. Like if you were that far left or that far right, and you can't really like sit down and okay, let's look at the data. Let's look at the, and have a conversation with it. I think now is where you just start cutting ties. Like if you're not a rational human being at this point and willing to listen, and you just want to do this, I think of on both sides of the aisle. I think of the people that just show up on news and give the same talking points every week and show up. I don't want to name names, but Jesus Christ, I do not want to hear them right now. Like, shut the fuck up. A quick question coming in from Phil. Looks like, do you guys think the real infection numbers are being suppressed in the U.S.? I do not. I think we may be exaggerating it. However, overseas, I couldn't tell you because it sounds like they're saying China has been slowing. I don't trust anything China's saying. What do you think on infection numbers, T? You think the U.S. is
no? China tried blaming us. What did I see yesterday? Something about China was trying to blame the actual outbreak itself on our military or something. I missed most of it, but I just saw a headline.
They were actually trying to reverse the blame back. I want to look back into that. That's my tinfoil hat coming into play here is I'd actually heard that we had sent troops, and this was before Italy got bad. I had heard that okay. So let me take you down the rabbit hole without sucking you completely in. The conspiracy.
Well, hang on. Before you do that, you asked what my thought was on the numbers was, and the question was, do you think the real infection numbers are being suppressed? Well, they are completely inadvertently, because we don't have the actual numbers because we didn't have the proper testing, and the testing we did have was faulty. So yeah, through no fault of our own or complete fault of our own, the numbers are completely off.
Yeah. So the tinfoil hat thing I was talking about of where this is coming from. So there's two things. China, what they did is they boarded up people's doors. You can't come in or out of your home. Like you're just locked in your house. So that means they quit testing and they quit counting dead bodies. So their count's going to go down. Like they're not reporting new cases because people are fucking locked away and they're not checking on them. They're just like, stay the fuck away. So their number's going to go down, but their death toll will likely go up if they report it. I don't trust that society. Now doing that works. It's not the humane thing to do, but it works. You're going to stop the spread, and sure, your spread's going to go down. But I guarantee your death toll is going to be way up, and they're probably not going to report that piece of it. That's going to get silenced. But the conspiracy part of it was before Italy got crazy on everything, the US had actually, I'll back it up a little bit, is the conspiracy deep think is that there is a child sex pedo ring that goes all the way back to the Vatican. Now it's one of those crazy deep ones that goes like all over the place. The US had sent thousands of troops into Europe like a week or two prior to Italy being infected and having this major outbreak. So I don't know. I haven't followed this one real deep. But that one seems more likely to me than us having China be infected and then spread it to the world. Like I don't see any benefit from China getting it and then us getting it from China
right
when we gave it to them originally. They just like I can't conceive of that. I could see the Vatican one and the pedo ring. That makes more sense to me, I guess. You know, that'd be a rabbit hole I would go down just to be entertained.
Well, yeah, like how many people visit the Vatican on a daily basis?
What a fuck
number?
ton.
It's a lot. Actually, I'm just gonna Google that right now because that's an assload of people, I believe. How many people visit the Vatican on a daily basis?
Oh, Phil says he's 5 minutes out now. Jesus Christ. Did we just go through 35 minutes or did he speed?
Both. With mass tourism growing every year, some 5 million people, as many as 20,000 a day in summer, enter the chapel. Wow. 20,000 a day. That's insane.
That's a real deal.
Holy crap. So yeah, that's the thing. Let's preface everything that we've honestly been saying here, and probably why we didn't take this maybe as seriously as we could have when we first started discussing it. We are in a very densely populated rural type area for the most part. That's where we live. We don't interact with a lot of people from the outside world. Like it's personally, me and Phil live in very small towns. Like I know you obviously travel to larger metro style areas and interact with a lot more people, but like it still spreads the same way. But we're living in a small rural area, so it doesn't hit us as quickly. So that's probably why we downplayed it quite a bit. You know, it's easy for us in this small area to look at the rest of the world and go, "Oh, you guys are freaking out over nothing," because we're not seeing the immediate ramifications. And especially in America, where you had Italy, tanking like that. You know, we could look at that across the pond and go, "Oh, well, it's not as big a deal as they're saying it is on the news." But there's two sides of the coin, and the media is absolutely playing this up because this is the new thing. The impeachment ended. The Democratic caucuses, kind of came to a conclusion, and we know pretty much for sure it's going to be Joe Biden. This is the new thing. This is the new sexy story, is the coronavirus.
Oh, is Joe Biden the sexy story? Oh my God, that's weird.
Well, he is if you're into ASMR audio.
Hold on. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the new thing, and it's gotten to the point where it is a big problem. It is a pandemic, officially. But we are freaking out because of stuff we talked about earlier about, monkey see, monkey do. Be at the top of the food chain. You don't want to be left behind. You see somebody else with something, you want it. All that human nature. And then you listen to the media, freak out about it. you see other people say it's not a big deal, but at the same time, you don't want to be the one that gets left behind. So this is such a double.
It's a rock and a hard place. It is like
it is. You can't win.
No, you can't. You can't win. No, and I think that's where we got caught on our prior episodes was, don't know how to react to it. And here's the deal.
Nobody does.
Here's the deal. We're in a place we've never been before right now. Whether you're impacted by this or not, I don't know if anybody's not impacted by this. There's like schools are closing, colleges are taking extended breaks across the country. You see the shelves at the stores. Like, this is not a normal, just, run of the mill. Oh, let's get a little crazy about, I mentioned the 22 ammo, and then I thought about, what was it with the West Nile? There was that green Johnson baby oil lotion, a few years back. You have these weird,
the DEET in the off.
Yeah, you have these weird little things that pop up. This is big. Now I'm in a really small populated area where it is like it's short of mass panic. It's short of me loading my guns tonight. Like, it's that close to the state of panic in South fucking Dakota. It's that close. If I was in Washington State right now, my ass would be packing bags and leaving. I'd be getting the fuck out of there. If I was in New York, I'd be getting the fuck out of there. Unless I was forced in quarantine, like, I would not be anywhere near anything going on, because there's going to be cities shit's going to hit the fan. Like, I don't see this getting better. I don't want to incite fear of violence or make anybody crazy, but yeah, there you go. Get ready. The bubble. I love it.
Yeah, sorry, everybody, we're fucked.
And I'm not. Oh God. I am a freedom-loving person. I am a mostly libertarian at heart, but God damn it, some people should be in a bubble. Let's be real. So Grow the Farm Up says entire sectors of the economy are shutting down. Not to downplay the human side of this, but our financial and commodity markets will be digging out of this for 6 months, maybe even 2 years. He's absolutely right. You not only when you look at that piece of it, 401ks are being impacted. I play around just on a small scale with the stock market, just so I keep up to speed with it, and you can make a lot of money right now if you have money to invest and you know where to go with it. You wait for that down day and it's going to bounce back up the next. This last week you could have really made a ton of money. If not, probably too late, because I think that up and down's probably going to start leveling off a little bit, but now it's uncertainty. Like, I think the last 4 days were predictable. Now with as we head into next week, it's going to be a little bit more unpredictable as we're seeing feedback from Trump's plan today. I haven't confirmed this yet, but I did get an alert on my phone that Google is stating that they do not have a site planned to be up and running on Saturday. However, they're just going to do it in pilot small pocket areas. So that's not what we heard on Trump's speech. So, maybe throw some shade at Trump right now and maybe give him, I don't bash him a whole lot, but don't make the country think that we're going to have this nationwide website available if it's just for San Francisco, Seattle, and New York. That could cause some issues. Everybody's looking for this. You got 350 million Americans waiting for a website to be up. Everybody's panicking, and now it's not going to be available.
Yeah. Couple comments here in the live chat. Jeremy said, just invest in Netflix. Everyone's staying at home and just watching Netflix. Hell yeah, Netflix and chill. And then I would also suggest investing in Similac, because in 9 months, everybody's going to be popping out kids. And Huggies.
Yeah, I like the long term there.
Yeah. Well, That's my own little flavor on that. But Grow the Farm Up also says the long-term financial fallout from this is going to hurt more people in the long term than anyone has ever considered. I shorted commodities 10 days ago, and I'm thinking about shorting them again on Monday. I think we're looking at a minimum 2 to 3 weeks, best case scenario, before markets may turn around and then go along, ride them back up. And you're absolutely right. The smart traders are making a killing right now. So, and I wanted to touch, I enjoyed some of his comments on, I was a few nights ago on your live stream with Phil about the immediate distribution of small business to doorstep, some of those concepts you guys were talking about. And I really like that. But yeah, you brought up chicken, you brought up something interesting about we don't know how far this is going to go. Like that, like you said, the unknown is the most scariest thing about this. We don't know how long the infection is going to last. Will this subside a bit when the warmer weather finally comes? We don't know when we're looking at a treatment or a cure. We don't know how long the infections are going to last once this does hit an official global scale, which I think we're finally there. So if you start incorporating business into dealing with how people are affected by this on a daily basis, trying to get basic necessities, like that's a great business model until it's not, like you said. How long? We don't know how long this is going to last. So investing in something like that without a contingency plan to fall back on, like small business, big business can't completely change their infrastructure to accommodate this without a contingency plan, because this could be short term, this could be long term. We have no fucking clue. That's the scariest thing about this. And that's why we are getting the mass panic, not just because of the media, it's because of the unknown. And people by nature just fear what they don't understand.
Yeah, and there's a lot to not understand with this whole situation right now. And so that's what always keeps me kind of humble with the whole thing. But I was encouraged today with Trump's comeback or announcements today rather was gonna
have a little Colorado Breckenridge bourbon, folks.
Well, yeah, that sounds good. So of course we all heard a lot of what was going on today. There's still some things in the past that haven't come through and been fulfilled yet. So I'm sketchy on some of these and some of what I'm reading. Trump gets ahead of himself. Trump says,
yeah,
I want a website for everybody to go to. And Google goes, hey, we can help you make that. And then he walks out of the room. That's what I imagine. Like, that's really what I imagine. And as soon as he walks out of the room, Google goes, okay, I'm going to have this set up by Sunday for San Francisco, Seattle, and New York. And then Mike Pence walks in and goes, hey, Mr. President, they said they'll have it for Seattle and these towns by Sunday. And Trump goes, good, it'll be ready for the country by Sunday. Like, that's how I think this operates sometimes. Like, yeah, I don't think it's misleading. I don't think it's poor intentions. I think it's optimism bias sometimes, and we're all guilty of it. Like, I admit to that sometimes. I think that's where this derives from. But it's harmful. It can be harmful sometimes. Because did you see what the stock market did during his speech today? It was like the Dow was like at 700, holding steady for hours, and then his speech started, and then it went up to like 1900 plus 1900 by the end of his speech before the Dow closed. It was 1925, I think. Positive would have ended at, and I'm like, dude, people loved hearing it. Now it was a calming, very reassuring. Here's our plan. Here's the things we've done. Here's what we're gonna do. But now we start looking into it, and then Google comes out and says, hey, we can't do this. And I'm waiting for more. There's going to be more. There's going to be more naysayers. Yeah. And it just opens the door for CNN to just shit on everything, and MSNBC to shit on everything, and half of America to listen to the fucking idiots that are on TV. Like, I guess that's why I like to do this show, so maybe I can vent about that. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing, though. Like, people want to look at like everything Donald Trump says speech-wise. He typically references Wall Street and the stock market, and he uses that as a measuring stick because he's a businessman. Which, of course, that's going to be right there in the back of his mind. So it's understandable. And obviously, it's not everything though. But we do have some more comments from Grow the Farm Up when we were talking about the providing, from the small businesses, local businesses. He said, think about the disaster relief zones after a hurricane. It's not a long-term investment strategy. Companies make grotesque amounts of money to show up in disaster zones for short periods of time and provide relief.
Most of those are government contracts. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what was it? Anheuser-Busch started canning water. What was it during Katrina? So, yeah, there is obviously availability.
They'll take $2 billion to can water just for fucking quick, easy change. It doesn't cost them that much, but government's like, we'll shell it out. You do it, you deliver it, and rightfully so. Sometimes that's a good thing. So I don't like how much money it is. Sometimes I think some of these companies should just do it, but whatever. Go ahead, Tone.
Don't they know it's the end of the world? It ended when I lost your love. The man who needs no introduction is here. My God, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, all can now finally calm. Your king of extreme is here to assuage all your fears. Gentlemen, how are we doing this evening?
Good, Phil. Good to see you, fella. How was your shopping experience?
Interesting, I will say. No shit tickets to be found anywhere in York, Nebraska. Anywhere. I was talking with my mother, and I know, an actual social interaction. And she had some last minute panic buy itch. And so I was like, well, okay, fine. It was snowing and she didn't want to drive in the snow. So I took her to a grocery store that my grandmother used to take me to when I was a really little boy. It was a nice little trip down memory lane. No toilet paper, but they had lots of Kleenexes. So that was, pick those up just in case. And then we stopped by Walmart, like you said. Nope, completely cleaned out. And I was just dumbfounded by it. Walgreens, I had a friend that was working there, and I texted her, and she said, nope, cleaned out. So that's what it's looking like in York, Nebraska. So that's not good. I will say we have all suddenly become very aware of the limits of our infrastructure. T?
Yeah. No, that's exactly it. And we've been talking about this all night, and Chicken touched on it earlier, but I'll go at it again. It's not that
I just needed a second to turn off the sound on my phone. I mean,
sure.
I'm ready to go. If you are, Rocket Man, it's just
sure.
What are you drinking tonight?
Figured. I've been having a few different things, but at the moment, I just poured myself a glass of Breckenridge. It's probably gonna be my last drink of the night. We've been going for a little while. We were kind of waiting for you to tag in. I do have to work in the morning, so here pretty quickly, I'm going to be jumping off and letting you and Chicken gab for a while. But what you were mentioning there is it's not the production that's kind of halted. It's the availability that's taken an immediate hit because everybody kind of went into a panic because of what they saw other people doing in the media saying, and they saw people on social media buying surplus amounts at a rate that we weren't prepared for out of nowhere. So this will be amended in the near future. Another truck will come in to your store. You will be able to buy more hand sanitizer and toilet paper and cereal and bread and eggs and so on and so forth. But as soon as that stuff becomes available again, people are going to see that. They will react to that, and they will buy the supply out again. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We don't know how long this short supply and demand is going to be. So that's the real question, and that's the real worrying concern for me. Like not the shelves being empty right now. It's how long are the shelves going to be stocked and immediately be empty again? How long are we going to have to deal with that? That's my big concern.
Well, everybody that's in the production pipeline, they're going to be very hesitant to overproduce, because what's happening is there's a lot of people overbuying right now. Like, for example, I was talking to some folks at work at the Walmart in York, Nebraska, and they said yesterday a whole pallet came in. And one lady, some middle-aged woman, I don't know, she just said some lady came in and said, how much is that? How much is the toilet paper? As they were wheeling out a whole pallet of toilet paper. Whole pallet of it, wheeling out. He's like, well, it's this much for a roll. And she says, okay, I'll take the whole pallet. And so you have that level of panic overbuying right now. And so the toilet paper producers, or whatever producers of what might be scarce tomorrow, they know that level of buying will not be sustained again in the future. And if they overproduce into it, they might go bankrupt. So we're in this really weird...
That's a good point. The overproduction worries me just as much as the underproduction, because this is going to affect everybody regardless of the outcome. If they overproduce or if they underproduce, this is going to directly affect the blue-collar workers on the assembly lines a lot, no matter how this shakes out. You're right.
Yep. And on our farm, personally, we're doing... Basically, we've kind of, nobody said it consciously, but we've all kind of got this, like, we're going to do everything we can to just keep the goddamn food infrastructure churning for as long as we possibly can. Don't care what the fuck we got to do it. And it's been kind of this weird unspoken tension on, we're just going to keep putting the food out there for as long as humanly possible, even through a 3-week sickness. That's at least what it hasn't been spoken, but that's So
no, that's
and I suspect you're doing the same too.
I get you. That's what you said that kind of earlier today, and I'm like, yeah, same thing. I'm going to work. I'm still jumping the feed truck. I'm still delivering feed, because guess what? Cows and pigs and sheep all have to eat too. And even in the small rural area, everybody wants to eat.
In the
man,
meantime,
woman, child, and animal.
In the meantime, I'm pouring me a nice, beautiful glass of Guinness. Trying not to let
That's
that
a
head
lot of
tip over.
head, bro.
Oh, Guinness is supposed to have a little bit of head. It'll all come down. It's going to be gorgeous.
Be sure to let it settle for a second. Okay?
Oh, yes.
That's very important.
This is on my phone right now. Look at this shit.
Yeah.
Look at this.
I'm afraid, T, you might have to tag out for too long and deal with your pups.
Yeah, it's 12:21, and my wife is upstairs sending me a video of one of 3 of my children crawling all over, because a 40 fucking minute nap from Hastings makes him go, oh fuck, I slept enough. I wish I could sleep for 40 minutes and be that refreshed. God, it'd be great.
You wish you have 3 kids under the age of 5. You wish you could sleep for 40 minutes.
You know what? Sleeping is not a problem for me. I've actually been pretty blessed with a wife that's more hands-on than most would be, as far as, no, I'm happy to take all the duties. You just go ahead and sleep. Like, even when we had our first, and we only had the one, when I came downstairs to check on the crying baby, she would follow me anyway. I'm like, I got this. No, I'm up anyway. I can't ignore it. So I'm like, all right, if you're up, I'm gonna go back to sleep. that's fine with me. Go ahead. And that's just kind of been the status quo ever since. And they've gotten used to her just kind of being with them all night, and she doesn't care. She loves it because you only get that time for so long, and God bless her, she eats every second of it up.
Right on. That's good.
Tony's getting this video right now, and he's thinking, man, she looks really busy. She looks like she could use some help.
Yeah. No, but that does lead me to another rabbit hole before I jump and tag out and let Phil go on with you.
Tony, before you go, I have one question for you. Just one question, okay?
Hit me.
Before you go, I'm going to let you decide. What am I drinking tonight? Because I'm going to pour my first dram for the evening. Bourbon, Scotch, or whiskey?
Well, I've actually had all three. I had Irish whiskey first. I had Scotch second, and now I'm on a bourbon. So,
let me guess. Was it Napogue Castle for your Irish whiskey?
No, actually, I started with Bushmills, and then I went to Macallan, and now I'm having Breckenridge. So why don't you just go fucking nuts and drink some of that goddamn Japanese whiskey, Phil?
Oh, I'm just not feeling it, though. I'm feeling either one of those three. So, all right. Do I go Booker's? Do I go Napogue Castle? Or do one of the crazy scotches we had?
Well, if you're going to do one of the crazy scotches, drink up one of those fucking peaty ones. Like the Lagavulin good, but yeah, drink the other one. What was the other one? Was it the Cal Uno, the other peaty one? Drink one of those.
Yep. Okay.
There you go. Drink one of those.
Yep. Jeremy's with me on Scotch. Jeremy, thank you much, sir. Germs. And also shout out to Son of Germs, a great name Tony likes.
So real quick, just kind of going back through the chat, we've missed quite a few things in here.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, Jesus. Blew up for a little bit. I want to go back to my brother popped in there and was limit to 1 pack per purchase. Solved. Boom. It's not that easy. And so being a store operator in the past, think of all the people that are calling in sick and think of all the self-checkouts. And so if I'm going to say you can only have 1 pack of toilet paper per person, I have to like man that aisle and enforce that. And then I have to enforce it at the register. But then think, it's been commonly called out on social media. If you have an elderly neighbor, go shopping for them. Well, you might shop for yourself and that person. Like there's so many scenarios and varieties. There is not a shortage of toilet paper. There's a shortage of drivers for trucks to get to the store. So it will be there. It's just all the assholes that have a shopping cart like overloaded need to be held accountable to a certain extent. And I don't know, the stores can't do that. The stores cannot do that. You can't have violence in a store. You can't have violence in that type of shit going on in general, but like there's gotta be some common sense going on to where when you see somebody doing shit like that, it's gotta be, hey, fuckhead. Like, come on. I almost experienced it. I found toilet paper in the last couple of days, so I'm okay now. But I was almost out because I didn't panic, and now I'm like, oh shit. Like,
no, you're right. That's just it. It's God, availability. It's going to be a problem on and off, and we're all going to suffer because of it. So, mass panic breeds more mass panic. Panic is just as contagious as all the viruses that we endure. It's the nature of the beast. Before I jump out, guys, I was talking about my kids a little bit, and something the coronavirus specifically detail-wise has been fairly lenient on the youth, and I think that's why you're seeing a lot less grade school and middle school and high school closings as opposed to collegiate and big business type situations trying to quarantine a bit and stay home. So I'll jump out. I'll let you guys kind of shoot from the hip on that, but the age range and the youth kind of not being as affected by it, I think that's a big issue that people need to know a little bit more about. So I'll let you guys jump into that, and I will check you guys later.
All right. Later, have a good night, T. Appreciate you being a part of the first half of the show.
You bet, guys. Later.
So Tony brings up something interesting there.
Straight up, I already worked it out. My daughter is not going to school on Monday. Just no, there's no way. Even if it is going easier on the youth, she has a lot of relations that are very, very elderly. And if she became a carrier, I mean, he's like he was talking about, it's a good thing it doesn't affect the youth, because my God, this virus has already captured this country's imagination enough. And like he was saying, is fear a greater virus than even COVID-19?
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing. Jumping back into the chat before we get too deep into this conversation, I see we got a Scotch drinker with us tonight. So I had already hit a little Scotch. I had a little bit of Obey earlier. I've been drinking a little Crown. I was about to switch to Guinness. I've only had a sip or two, but I saw somebody had a Glenmorangie 12 years, so I had not tried it yet. So I also will have a small glass, Glenmorangie 12 years. So cheers to my brother, and I'll try this out with you and see how this shit is. And Phil, you had Glenmorangie before?
I can't say I have, but it's on my short list. It's actually on sale at the grocery store I was at today, but needless to say, I figured I've got enough liquor and I'm gonna pick up a few extra groceries. Yeah, you can call it a panic buy, whatever. I don't care.
You know what my panic buy today was? Booze. I just bought a bunch of booze.
Yeah,
I was in the grocery store and everybody's like buying all kinds of weird shit, and I just went and grabbed a whole bunch of beer and whiskey and scotch, and people like looked at my shopping cart and went, "Oh fuck," and then they went back and bought some. So.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Chicken, after looking around the grocery stores and talking to some folk in the last few days, I almost, do kind of regret recording that YouTube video I did the other day. Like, hey, shut now. Everybody's going to be like, so shit does go down. Can I get a roll or two, man? It's like, shit, I knew this was going to happen, motherfucker.
Yeah. No,
I was picking up whiskeys just for this podcast, and tonight I'm going to be drinking the often praised, but not on the Dog and Chicken Show or RWP, Lagavulin 16.
Nice. Lagavulin. Lynn and Jeremy kind of going back and forth here a little bit. So Lynn, shortage of toilet paper. He's got 3 girls in the house. So that's not going to last very long. But Jeremy then points out homeschooling will probably start being a thing pretty soon. You brought this up the other night, Phil, and I don't know if you want to take it beyond, because I'm seeing all colleges and schools in South Dakota are shut down next week, regardless of where the infection is. Now, you pointed out last week that school hasn't changed. Back in the 1800s, it was, I'm writing on a chalkboard and I'm talking to you right here. And today it's, I'm writing on a dry erase board and talking to you right here. It hasn't fucking changed, and it probably should have over the years. But like, I do teaching for work. That's most of what my job is, teach people how to do shit better and faster and more efficient. But I do most of that remote now, and I record videos and have them watch videos and track who watches it. And then I call them and what questions do you have? Like, I think it's a good step in a way. Is this gonna quietly advance us into a better educational future?
You raise a really good point there. Have you ever heard of commentator Mike Cernovich? Just
no, I have not.
Okay, he's a political commentator that usually has pretty decent breaking news. Sometimes he's a little off. More often than not, he's pretty on. He had a great quote about this virus, and he said, if enough people, because of this virus, start to learn online, they might just find that they really like learning online. And this might be the impetus that actually changes that. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, I do think this is going to cause a big change. And I actually, for about 7 months, we did homeschool my daughter for about 7 months. And I did find that when she did finally plug back into the school system and she was on testing, she tested about average with all the other kids in her aptitude. It's just you have to find the proper curriculum. We just basically shopped around and found a math curriculum that was good, an English curriculum that was good, history curriculum that was good, yada, yada, yada. And yeah, homeschooling's really not as big a deal as some people make it, but I have a lot of respect for the craft and the profession of teaching. I don't manufacture my own vaccines. I don't build my own car out of raw parts and make it run. I do believe that division of labor can be a good thing, but yeah, if homeschooling is something that you think is a good thing for you, definitely go for it.
Yep. Grow the Farm Up says panic is just as contagious as a virus. That is a good quote. Markets are as scared of uncertainty as the virus, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now is the uncertainty. Everything is uncertain, even after. And I've been critical of Trump a little bit tonight on jumping the gun a little bit and maybe over exaggerating. That's what he does. He's always done that. But when you're in a crisis like this, you gotta be careful with the facts. So he's saying this website for Google is going to be up for everybody on Sunday. Doesn't sound like it's going to be up for everybody. It's only going to be in remote locations. So we're going to have to backtrack and clarify. He's going to catch all kinds of shit for that. So the thoughts on that, like what we heard from Trump today when it comes to the future website. I thought the plan and everything they presented was fantastic. I loved it. Great. Streamlines everything. Let's utilize private sector. Let's utilize the communities. Let's utilize everything and streamline this process. And I think it was a good plan put in place. But now it may not be working as quickly, as easily, and as efficiently as they said. So thoughts? Where's this going?
That was really my only real criticism that's of any substance of Trump's speech is that he should have just included, and we have a plan that will be readily changing as facts change on the ground that you can find out at this website, www.blah, blah, 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 blah. He should have added that to the speech, but other than that, it was the speech we needed. It is the America, I'm here to sit down and have a little chat with you. Now, this part where his thumbs kept jumping up, that was some interesting body language to me. But Grow the Farm Up and Jeremy, they're about this schooling thing, because this is something that touches a lot of people's lives, is how do we educate our children? Grow the Farm Up says,
it needs reform no matter what. No matter where we end with this, our education system sucks.
It's a nice thought, gents, but you're forgetting about teachers' unions. Not trying to knock on teachers at all. We need them. One of the reasons education hasn't changed in 100 years is teachers' unions. Now, you're absolutely right, Grow the Farm Up, but as you might have been here the other night, our good friend Chicken, Reformed Democrat and now a Republican, welcome to the light side of the force, sir, figured out that this coronavirus might be the thing to undo public sector unions once and for all. Chicken, congratulations, sir. I'm sure your inner 15-year-old just wants to but well done, sir. Well done. Even I wasn't able to come up with that. Well done.
Something's got to change. We're stuck in the past, and I think that was something that Trump pointed out today with with his plan on the coronavirus too, was he kept bringing that up of over and over again as, the system we had worked in the past, but it doesn't work now. And he repeated that several times, but I see that across every sector. Like, it is across the board. Most of the systems and policies and shit we have in place have not changed in years. Most of the shit is back from the 80s or earlier, and just has not updated with the times because of political bias and stupidity, and nobody ever growing up. And it's like, I'm a D and I'm an R and this is what we stand for. I don't know. I've always, I know you're praising me for jumping to the side of the R's, but the R's are just as guilty as anybody when it comes to shit like this. And I've always been I always have this little chunk of anarchist in me of like, both of you suck. I just want to fucking demolish all rules and start over. But I don't know. I digress.
Well, you should always examine the base assumption or base question of any political philosophy. If you were to boil it down to its most base, and for anarchism, its most base observation is all systems of authority should be questioned. And there's really nothing wrong with that base observation. Like leftism, I think could easily, like, if I was going to very easily try to sum up its base observation, is that society should be structured in a way that everyone's life works out.
It's easy to say.
Oh, I'm really, really painting with broad brush. And while on the right, it should be that achievement should not be held back. The ability to excel and achieve should not be mitted or handcuffed by society.
Right.
And I know that's being very broad with my brushes, but those are the base observations of these types of political systems. And so when you mention anarchism, it's like when you say, I've got this little anarchist streak. Well, everybody knows that all systems of authority should be questioned. So it's nothing wrong with that, even though when a lot of people say anarchy, it's like, well, everybody's had an anarchist streak in them once in a while.
Yeah, and you don't have to be full on an anarchist. It can be a measure to anarchy in a certain way. But so real quick, I wanted to give my thoughts on this Glenn Murray real quick, since my brother's drinking along with us and giving me shit in the chat.
What you drinking, sir? Are you drinking Glenfiddich?
No, I did the Glen Murray 12. Let's see.
I was talking to Lynn West, your brother, sir. He said he was in the chat, so I was like, "Well, what are you drinking, sir?" I'm drinking scotch.
Yeah. He's drinking the same thing I am. It's the Glen Murray. I'm assuming it's the Speyside single malt Scotch whiskey 12-year that I have as well. It's not bad. It's a good opening. I don't know if. We talked if we were going to introduce somebody to Scotch, this would be a really good one. It doesn't have a dark or mean burn afterwards. It's pretty gentle overall. This is it's a pretty good run of the mill, cheap, but still halfway decent Scotch. It's not great, but it's not bad. Like, this is pretty decent. It's nothing like, I'm telling you, Lynn, since you're watching, this one here, it's about $7 more. But Oban Little Bay, this is good shit.
Yes,
that's what you got to get.
Actually, at the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast, we have a review of Oban Little Bay. Great stuff. I cannot recommend it enough.
For only like $40 a bottle too. It's really good.
It's some of the most reasonably priced stuff that comes from Oban, and I'm sure you read it on the box, but Oban is an ancient Gaelic word for Little Bay. And so that's actually what it means, is Little Bay in Gaelic, which is the ancient and all but almost completely destroyed Irish language. But Grow the Farm Up has a couple of things here. I'm with you, chicken. Don't think anybody was naive about what Donald Trump was. The American people decided to roll a human hand grenade into Washington. Both parties did and still do suck. They need blown up. Ours went through this in the early 2000s. These are now trying to straighten their clusterfuck of a party out. And yes, back in 2012, that primary really was the civil war for the soul of the Republican Party. I remember that one.
It got rough. It got rough. Yeah.
Selection is a bit meh. Yeah, it is, Lynn. Everybody's selection's a bit meh, but we're rolling with what we got at the moment, sir. But I remember, and I still to this day think that Ron Paul getting screwed over in the 2012 convention was what planted the seed for the Donald Trump Make America Great Again movement of 2016 to arise. The two of those men don't like each other, and I don't know if they've ever even met.
No, I think it also planted the seed for the Bernies. Like you brought it up several weeks ago. Your dad asked you why, the younger generation wants, an 80-year-old man with 120-year-old ideas to run the country. We've seen it with Ron Paul. That was our generation. As we were coming up, I think we were all pretty strong with Ron Paul. But it was the same thing that we see with Bernie Sanders is a lot of his followers were either too young to vote or too lazy to vote. A lot of the people I knew that were, I'm all on for Ron Paul. Well, you know what? I guarantee half of them sons of bitches didn't show up to vote. They probably went to rallies. They went to all the events and were like, how is Ron Paul filling an arena of, 10 to 15,000 people, but they didn't show up to vote? Well, it's because they were all lazy little shitheads that were too young and too lazy to do anything about it. And that's the same thing that's happening with Bernie Sanders is you get this feel the burn. Let's get out and get the burn. And I think he's got the same thing going on where he's trying to get all these young voters to come up, but you can't trust a young voter. You just can't. You gotta hope they're gonna wake up in the morning and actually get up and go out and vote. And they don't want to wait in line. They order shit on Amazon and just sit at home and get everything. Let's just be real with where we're at today. It's going to get worse unless, what the biggest thing the Democratic Party could do, or any big name third party candidate to do, is to open up online voting. You got to find a way to do that. That's the only way we're going to get out of this bubble we're in, because again, the way we vote today is no different than the way we voted hundreds of years ago.
Oh, wow. So you're totally cool with online voting, huh?
Not necessarily. Like, we got to be careful with it. Like there's got to be trusted vetting through here. But dude, are you comfortable with current voting? I don't trust the current voting. Like, I really don't
trust a paper ballot election 1,000 times more than I will ever fucking ever trust an all digital election. Dude, these things are fucking easy to hack, okay? Anything's easy to hack. It's fucking really easy to change a fucking any 1 and 0 in binary when you know how to fucking write code at that level, okay?
Well, maybe you should get an Apple.
The idea that there would be
Phil, just get an Apple. It'll be better.
No, you see,
you
I
too,
use
Lynn.
a PC because I use my computer for actual work and not just dicking around. So, Excel spreadsheets.
I'm just trying to dig at the Apple haters out there.
Wash man your judgment, Apple fans. Enjoy spending $900 on your iPhone 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 every year. And sorry. Now you got me on Apple PC.
Sorry, I just downed the rest of that Glen Moran when you got done with your rant. So I was like, whew, it was a little warm. What do we got in the chat? Got a few more popping in here. It's hard for me to keep up. I got a split screen. I don't have my extra monitor tonight. So, we got some Johnny Walker and McAllen, from Lynn. Let's see. Grow the Farm Up's jumping back in. What are we referring to here? He's like, I meant the 2010s. What's the old saying? When you're in your 20s and you're not a little bit liberal, you don't have a heart. Once you're in your 40s, if you're not a little bit conservative, you don't have a brain. Absolutely. And yeah, that might be one of the truest statements of our generation.
Except for that first part.
No, Phil. Yeah, I think Phil has more of a heart today than he did when he was younger. That's weird.
Aw, well, thanks. There's a string of folks and string of women out there that need to hear about my kind heart and good-hearted nature, chicken. Jesus Christ.
We gotta get Phil laid. No.
Don't worry about me, sir. But so tell me about Apple Fruit Company. Yeah. More people vote for American Idol, and you're true, West, which is kind of the problem. But yeah, I'm going to be voting in the primary this year here in Nebraska. Why not? Hell, it was an interesting thing in Texas when the folks in Republican town, Texas,
more Republicans. More Republicans voted for Trump than Democrats did for any candidate altogether in Texas. That was incredible.
Yeah, I think Trump's got Texas. Crazy, I know, but I think he's got that one. But yeah, I'm one of those guys that even back in 2008 and 2012, I voted in the primaries because I'm just one of those folks that understands, especially in a small Republican state like Nebraska, so many of our senators have been elected in primaries where they won by like 1,000 votes, 1,500 votes, 900 votes. And so if you are a Republican voter in a small Republican state and you vote in the primaries, you actually have a disproportionate influence on the United States Senate versus almost anyone else in the country.
Yeah. Should we get into like recent news? Like what?
Oh, this is Grow the Farm Up. Talking about my past of awesomeness. Phil was a Fox News watching Bill O'Reilly spouting over-opinionated, in-your-face Republican everything when he was 15 years old. I grew up with them. I got stories. Yeah, well.
And my immediate reply is we need to sit down and have some drinks.
Grow the Farm Up. Is flattery will get you nowhere, sir. I don't know what the hell you thought was going to happen.
Now, Phil, today's events and in the events that have unfolded since we last chatted on Wednesday night, are you, Wednesday night, you had piles of toilet paper on each side of you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't have any toilet paper. There was none there. That was an optical illusion that I computer animated.
Okay. So now we're in hiding on the toilet paper, but, what's your, level of, I don't know, concern? I think Trump did pretty good on his speech today. There was issues with it, and stuff we're going to have to go back and backtrack on over the next couple of days. But like, what do you think? Like, are we in the right direction? Like, this sounds like it's still going to take a couple months. So where's your thoughts? Where are we at? What do we need to worry about?
I will say, as a guy that's kind of a germaphobe, there is please, I know this is bad and things are going wrong for people and I feel awfully, but as a germaphobe, I must say, it's kind of delightful that everybody else is now finally on board. I'm like, when I'm out in public, nobody's wanting to try and touch me and everybody's being really careful about what they touch. And it's like, God damn it. Finally. So, I mean, it's terrible that there's a contagion. So, because I'm kind of a germaphobe, my anxiety's a little higher about it than most people are. I've got a good friend who's a pharmacist, and we text back and forth, and I I ask her, so how high is your anxiety on this on a scale of 1 to 10? She's like, 0. This flu has 13 cases in the state of Nebraska. I've seen worse flus this year. Now, COVID-19 isn't exactly a flu. It's a kind of influenza, but that can be a lot of different diseases. Kind of like there's hundreds of different types of cancer.
Yeah. Yeah. What'd you think about the article Tony sent us today? I haven't looked into it and researched it, but BuzzFeed sent out an article. What was that? 2 or 3 days ago, that the HIV medication actually cures COVID-19. Have you looked into that at all? It sounds like fake news to me.
I thought Tony was like drunk texting or something, because if it came from BuzzFeed, I'm not even going to click it.
Right, like, right. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's BuzzFeed. It's like reading Daily Mail. It's like, you look for the quotes and you look for the attachments, and then you look at those.
Daily Mail and there's internet tabloid is now a thing, but you get clicks, and that's what everybody's after. So not like us here at the Dog and Chicken Show. We're totally different. You're here for the absolute Aristotelian truth.
You get the high level opinions and high level thought processes of the great and the former champ, Phil KOE. I have to say former right now, but you're going to gain that back, right?
Yes.
That's assuming WrestleMania happens.
I was about to say, I mean, this is an awful fortunate time for Tony G to get the championship now that there's no more wrestling. Jesus Christ, like everything's shut down. They had NXT and SmackDown at the WWE Performance Center just so that they could put on something for the television audience. But yeah, everything's shut down. There's no more live events anywhere. But Vince McMahon is still pressing forward, god damn it. He will not be deterred. He still hasn't fucking called it off, which is hilarious.
Yeah. So just following up on the chat here. We got Lynn went bar hopping last night, shook 14 hands and washed them 5 minutes later. All right. So, we're hand washing. That's good. I'm terrible with it. I tried to do the little elbow bump. So I went to a store yesterday. I'm going to come up. I'm like, hey, how's it going? Everybody like just immediately just puts their hand out because that's how it's always been. Every time I show up, they're like, oh, hey man. And like we shake hands and we get a better business. But I come in and I'm like, and like, I'm not a super germaphobe, but I'm like, I don't know what their thoughts are and how creeped out everybody is. So I tried to do the little chicken wing thing, and the first manager did that to me. And then the next one walks up and reaches out her hand. And I didn't even think anything about it. And I reached out and shook her hand. I was like, God damn it. Shit. All right. Fucked it up. Like I was here for 30 seconds and I screwed this up. And then the other manager's like, you wouldn't. The other manager goes, you wouldn't shake my hand, but you'll shake her hand. What the fuck? Like, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. I got a Me Too going on now. Like, what do I do?
Lynn West wanted to ask me, Gronkowski, Phil, thoughts. Now, this is, I don't know if Grow the Farm Up is still listing, but my brother was really shocked that I knew who Ron Gronkowski was like 18 months ago. And I didn't have the heart to tell him that the only reason I knew who Ron Gronkowski was because he ran in during the Andre the Giant Battle Royal at WrestleMania 2 years ago. And so that was the only reason I had any fucking clue who that guy was. And he was like, wow, how the fuck do you know who Gronkowski is? What the fuck? And so now that he's signed with WWE, I'm afraid the cat might be out of the bag on that one. But I wish him well. I think he'll do good. And they've shown that they can do celebrities and athletes right, like they did Tyson Fury and Ronda Rousey. They're not going to be like, all right, Ron Gronkowski, we're going to give you a new gimmick. Your name is, Ronnie Beat-Ass, and you're from Iowa, and your gimmick is that you bring a pitchfork to the ring. Like they're gonna call him Ron Gronkowski and let him do his thing.
No, right on. Well, might as well. At this point, who gives a shit? Like, let's see. Grow the Farm Up said it's Rob. You still don't know who it is. Stop calling yourself Tom Brady. You don't even know what a first down is. Phil responds.
I know MMA and I can whoop on people's asses, so I don't need to know football. Fuck all that shit. Really? But yeah, it's Rob Gronkowski. Oh, fuck you. But yeah, I don't know the football players that well. I don't follow other sports, if you can't tell. I'm trying to get into XFL, which I do appreciate.
Which is canceled now, so good luck with
I know. What the fuck? Which I wonder what's going to be the entertainment venue that can keep going through it
UFC has not stopped. They are still firm.
And I need to just say this to grow the farm up. Make no mistake, sir. One simple letter mistake has no bearing on my royal status as the king of extremes, sir. So even though you might bask in your football factoids and you're going to throw facts in my face like so much of a thing, the king of extreme will forgive you, and welcome to my royalty of extreme. So chicken, continue.
No. So what I'm finding with we've had 6 of these live streams now, and honestly we've had some good ones, some good conversation on here. I think we need to try to schedule this out and make this more of a scheduled deal, because I love that we're finally getting some commentary. We're getting some folks chiming in. We're getting more and more people involved. That's great. But I want to get the grow the farm up of the world on the show, to go back and forth. He's argued with me. He's argued with you. I think we both can have some dialogue back and forth with folks like that. I would love to have.
Actually got a pretty good YouTube channel that's actually growing and budding, and dare I say, invoking my envy pretty deep. He's got some videos that's got a couple more views than either of us, chicken. So yeah, might want to.
How dare you? How dare you? No.
I know. He was an awesome channel up until he had one video that had more views than us. Then he's a piece of shit asshole sellout. That's the way YouTube works.
Yeah, fucking YouTube.
But yeah, do check them out. And yeah, I think I can pull some strings and maybe get Grow the Farm up on here. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah. But until then, having more views than us.
Yep.
How dare you?
Fuck you.
Gotta get some Greta going on in here. I haven't got cheesy with anything in a couple hours. So.
Oh, Lordy me. So that is my reply to you, Grow the Farm Up. I am and will always be the Tom Brady of wrestling podcasting, regardless.
Gross. So Phil, long term, where's coronavirus going? When's this end? Of course, we're magical and can predict this, and we're going to be absolutely right, of course. Where do you see this going? What's the stock market look like next week, 2 weeks from now? Like what's the overall impact? I think we all know what to do medically. I think we know, if we're sick, what to do. And we know that the cases are going to raise, but like, what are the stakes financially? What's your 401k look like? What does stock trading look like? How can you avoid potential losses long term?
Really, you're going to see a market rebound the minute you can report that this virus is starting to dissipate. If we can say that it's kind of worked its way through, and we're going to know that in 3 weeks. Like, we will know literally within 3 weeks of today whether this is, the pandemic of our generation, or if we're going to say like, well, we all stocked up, a couple of us got sick, but it was not the end of the world we thought it was going to be. But this is the first time in our modern era that our infrastructure has been shook like this. So this is going to have, it's kind of like when a drop of water drops in a very calm pool. That one drop affects everything afterwards. So I don't think we're going back.
No, I think you're right. I hope it's not a new norm. We've seen this in the past with other things, whether it be gas prices or you get used to things over a couple of months of time, and you get kind of trained and disciplined into just going, well, this is how things are now. And I hope that's not what goes on here. I hope we don't go 4 months from now going, well, coronavirus is just another flu that we have to be worried about. Hopefully, we get past the current pandemic, and then we get this settled down and get a some kind of vaccine for it long term. That said, market wise, I see a lot of volatility. I see a lot of opportunity over the next 2 weeks. That could be dangerous and have a lot of potential. Depending on where you're going, they announced the companies making the tests and the products, and they, Google's kind of backing out. I watched the stock market, during the speech today. I watched my Walmart stocks just went through the goddamn roof when Trump started talking. And then as soon as the CEO jumped on there, it was like, whoop. So, I was all good with some of that. So no, I think the next 2-3 weeks are going to be really bumpy. My biggest fear is this just becomes the new norm. Is coronavirus just becomes a thing now, like terrorism became a thing. It wasn't a thing when we were kids, and then all of a sudden 9/11 happens, and then terrorism's a thing. Suicide bombings were a thing. It's fucking weird how that shit happens. You can get as deep state and conspiratorially as you want, but no one man can affect any of that. So when it becomes a thing, it becomes a thing. I just hope it doesn't get to that point, but I'm fearing it will.
Dude, I think, for the next 18 months, our markets are all going to be fucking topsy-turvy, upside down. So, yeah, some money-making opportunities. Hell, I might even throw a little change into the fucking topsy-turvy market. It's really a little more than a roulette wheel at this point, because everything changed 48 hours ago. So most investment people are making is little more than speculation based on guesswork, because they don't really have many fundamentals to go off of. But because here's the problem. When next spring comes, next February, next March, everyone is going to panic buy again. They remember how it was last time. So we got to get as much as we can now. So that's why I'm saying this is going to affect our markets for the next 18 months, regardless of. So
what do you think? What do you think it's going to do to the election then?
That's a tough one. If it dissipates by summer, it won't really affect it one way or the other. I think depending on who gets hit, like I made the point, if it really wipes out the elderly, like some people are saying it could,
we might lose all 3 candidates.
Jesus Christ. I wasn't quite thinking that.
They're all old as fuck. Come on, I'm just being real here.
Yeah, but the Republican Party might lose a good chunk of its voters, like the elderly. But that was one thought. The other thought is people go for the security mode. People in these crisis moments, they want it. And so that has been not only Donald Trump's Republicans' brand. They have branded them.
If this continues and does not improve, which I don't think this is the speculation, but what if this just gets totally out of hand and we're still in crisis mode come November? Do we even have a vote?
God damn. Suspending the election over the virus. That never thought I'd see the day that we would be sitting here talking politics between you and me, Chicken, that we would be under serious discussion of suspending an election over anything.
Yeah.
Like that is a moment in history in our lifetime, that is worthy of taking a moment of pause. And I'm kind of taking that in right now as we speak. Like, wow, damn. And if it got much worse, I don't know if too many people would bat an eye about it.
So they keep talking about this bubble, right? That's been what all the medical professionals, as they were trying to avoid this like high increase, and then steady decline, and then in fact they want to make this steady increase. It's really low instead of this high peak. So this is going to last longer instead of peaking. And so they think if we do the small bubble, less people will be impacted, less people will die. It'll last longer, but it will overall be better for everybody. My argument with it is, do we know it doesn't reoccur? Like that's the, like, I get the small bubble and the big bubble. Like I get what the thought process is. The problem I had with the charts that they show, and if you look at it, they're all over Twitter, they're all over Facebook. You see this big spike bubble with this little steady deal here. There are no goddamn numbers on that chart. You don't know that left side and that bottom side don't fucking give you any amount of days or number of people. It doesn't fucking tell you anything. It's just lines in this fake fucking chart. I don't trust
they used a Reagan chart. Reagan did that once. I forget if it was to talk about how much. It was basically just a brilliant ad. Like, look at how much this number has gone up. Look at that chart. That is a chart that has a line going up. My isn't that impressive. And it had no numbers down here, no numbers over here, and it was just all horse shit. But for some reason, it persuaded people. So you're talking about a Reagan chart.
Yeah, and that's what they're showing us right now, and I see right through it. And the you know what? It was funny because it was my bias that caused me to see through it. Is because I saw Vox, VOX, the news source. Yeah, I saw somebody posted it on Facebook last night. And it was like all I seen was a family member of mine posted a news source, and I saw it said Vox.com, and I was gonna give him shit for it. And then I saw the picture, and then I clicked the picture, and then I saw the picture came from the CDC, and then I was like, so our government is putting out these fake ass charts. So I'm nervous.
Grow the Farm Up. Thank you for the reference there. It's known as the Laffer curve, and I didn't know if you took up, but sounded like he had to take off for a while to reply to all of his channel views and comments, which, by the way, Grow the Farm Up, is something I've wanted to say to you for a very long time, that it's something that I've been meaning to let you know from the bottom of my heart. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. So anyways, Chicken.
Wow. I enjoy his company. And that he gets you that upset, I'm even more happy with him.
That was necessary.
I enjoy he gets you this upset. It makes me feel even better.
God damn it.
Yeah, damn it. So I'm trying to pull up the it's called a Laffer chart. Good to know. I'm trying to pull up this COVID-19 chart so we can reference, because I see it everywhere. And it just bothers me every time I see this chart, because it has no real information. It's just a visual, and the visual doesn't tell you anything, except for whatever old geezer in front of it is telling you, which just sounds good, but there's no facts. It's just kind of, this is what we kind of think is gonna happen. Like this fucking weird thing going on. but we buy it. We buy it hook, line, and sinker every time these things happen. I just
well, it's why I always bring up persuasion, chicken, because like the Laffer curve, it's an excellent piece of persuasion. And this coronavirus curve, they're persuasion. They're trying to impart a trend in people's minds, because it's a strange thing. People's mind, they naturally try to seek out trends, and then they try. And why do you think this panic is? It's people analyzing basic trends and maybe overreacting, but they're still analyzing the trend correctly.
No, that's fair enough. Oh my God, I don't want videos. Fuck you, NBC. Get away. Go away. That's gross.
Again, ew. I would trust Joe Rogan, Tim Pool, Mike Cernovich, Stefan Molyneux, and those types of people before.
We're just gonna go this route because I think most people have already seen this. So it's without protective measures. Here's my problem. Every one of these, I can click on any of them. On the left side, how many people are sick at once versus how long has the virus been spreading? I can click on any of them. None of them give you numbers or actual figures or actual stats. It's just a random chart. I don't know how long this is supposed to go. This is not real information. None of this is real information. Any of them. This is the epitome of fake news. I could make this. This could be 2 weeks. This could be 6 months. This could be 10 years. This does not fucking tell me anything. This could be 5 people. This could be 1,000 people. This could be 1,000,000 people. It does not fucking tell me anything. This is so stupid. And our fucking society just buys this.
People are
I hate this.
Panicky animals that, as much as I hate to say, can be easily led. And if you just show them a chart that just shows something really disparate, like the Laffer curve, you can either make them very happy about something, or you can make them very upset about something. And it's all persuasion. That's why I keep bringing it up. It's not necessarily truth, but persuasion is almost a form of storytelling, and people are moved by stories. Stories are one of the things that motivate and move us in this life. So if you can persuade people, like people have been persuaded that there is a virus that needs to be worried about. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. Clearly, the population has very much been persuaded. So that's why through this whole podcast, when I'm here, I keep hammering it home. Persuasion, persuasion, persuasion. You don't need to necessarily be the most, factually connected communicator in order to be persuasive.
Yeah, no. It's gross. The whole thing's just fucking sick. I get what they're doing with those charts, and I get the message they're trying to send is it is what I worry about. When my wife texted me today and she's like, "Hey, South Dakota closed all schools in the entire state." I was like, "No, wrong decision, bad call. Like, the kids are not dying from this. Old people are. Like, I get kids spread it, but like, God fucking damn it. Like, now you have all these kids going home, and now these nurses can't go to work. Healthcare providers aren't there to take care of people anymore. I'm like, this is it just, in my opinion, right away, I'm like, this just makes it fucking worse. And now it gives daycares a reason to close down, and it just gives everybody a reason to go, I'm pussing out. Bye. Like, I'm not going to fucking do anything. Like, I'm going to stay home now. Like, okay, I agree. Some people probably should stay home. If you're a puss, you should probably stay home. But like, people that take care of other people need people to watch their kids. Nursing home workers need people to take care of their kids. We need daycares. We need schools. We need to have these hours available. And God damn it, the state just shut that down. I'm like, fuck, you're killing us all. Like, you're turning us into Italy right now. We don't have the hospital beds, and that's what that bubble talks about. That bubble we just showed shows like the maximum capacity hospitals can handle. And that's what we're trying to slow the spread so the hospitals don't get completely overwhelmed. Guess what's happening right now? Employers are saying, oh, you're sick, you can't come to work, you go to a doctor and get me a doctor's note. They're not adhering to the bubble. Like, if the bubble's real, fucking goddamn it, give me numbers and proof and make it real, because it's not fucking real right now, and people are too stupid to follow it if it is. I don't fucking know, man. It's just so frustrating.
It is kind of fascinating. Like, Italy has a government that will mandate. I'm just happy that we have a government that just, politely recommends that you have a 1 to 3 week staycation. In Italy, it's like, hey, guess what? You're all having a staycation now, but I don't care. And that's what's going on in Italy right now.
Yeah. No. Meanwhile, I got I have 2 weeks of vacation every year I never use. I'm like, this would be a really goddamn good time for me to just use 2 weeks of vacation.
As much as I hate to say, I mean, you could get out of it pretty easy that way. I mean, it just depends on what your level of risk is and what you think is good to go. I mean, I might wait a week or two if I was in your shoes, but we're going to see what happens with this. And, folks, Godspeed. And I hope you all make it out all right on the other side. And I'm sure if we all stick together on this, it's going to be fine.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's about time. I don't know. Wrap this bad boy up. I've been going for a long time. I know you didn't join in until about halfway through, but
all right. Well, if that's the case, Chicken, I'll for once I think it would be appropriate. I'll let you send off and then allow me the last word with the audience, if you'd be so kind.
Oh God, do I have to do the all that being said thing?
No, that's my line.
Well, I will have the last word as I always do, but I will sign off a little early here. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Thanks for all the communication through the chat. We'll try to make this more regular so everybody can tune in and we get some more guests on here and make this a little bit more fun. Again, appreciate you tuning in. Phil, round us out, and then I'll kill this bad boy.
All that being said, folks, this has been the Dog and Chicken Show Extreme Edition. Folks, stay safe out there. Do what you got to do to keep clean, keep you and yours safe, no matter how you got to. Thank you all for joining us. I have been your King of Extreme, Phil KOE, the one and only. Here to give you all the updates as soon as we can. You keep it right here on the Dog and Chicken Show. Like, share, subscribe. Folks, Godspeed. Be safe out there. I'll catch you on the flip side.
And that concludes our show tonight, folks. Appreciate you tuning in. Love you. Bye.